your time. Thank you for joining us in the Miami Hustle.
Of course.
My
You
God.
already know we do this for the city. We do this for the locals, and we got Mikey today.
Yes,
Big
sir.
Miami local, doing big things in Miami, doing big things in the DJ world. I heard you just got back from EDC.
Yes,
That must
sir.
have been crazy.
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps already. First 5
Yeah, you
seconds.
talking about.
I think from when I started DJing, but not a little bit after that, one of my biggest goals was to play at EDC. So I would say like the last 2 years before this one, I would go and I'm like, I feel like I belong here. But you always feel like you belong before you really should. But then I think in 2021, I was watching other people play, people I know, and I'm like, yo, these are my friends. Like, I really do belong. But I'm glad it didn't happen until it did, because when it did happen, it came with the perfect time, perfect moment. I got to play with like one of my favorite DJs, DJ 4B, like somebody I looked up to for years. So, and then I got to close like one of the stages there, the Corona Beach stage, like who I can ask for a better like opportunity for my first time at EDC, playing with him in front of a packed crowd, like closing the stage, like
Damn.
it's unbelievable.
Closing a stage at EDC, it must be insane.
So it's not like my first time at EDC, like they got me playing 2 o'clock, they're still setting up speakers. Like, nah, like you're closing it down and you're closing it out with someone that I look up to like almost more than anyone. And it's like, I was looking around like, yeah, I can't even, like people ask me how did it go, and it's like, it's hard to answer because in the moment I was just, for lack of like a better word, like I was trying not to fuck up. But like I was just really like trying to be on point, and then after like it's still I don't know if it still hit me now.
Was it like a blur?
Oh yeah, it was the fastest hour of my life, like fastest hour. But like it was cool seeing so many people I knew in the crowd. Like that's all I remember the most. Like half of the crowd was people that like I knew, and I'm like, wow, like,
That's magical.
That's what's up.
crazy. Like I'm looking at people that friends of mine that I honestly hadn't seen in a while, and these guys were going to festivals with me when we first started going to festivals, and now I'm playing. And I'm looking at them.
You know what's funny? I had a similar experience, but like almost the opposite, because I went to EDC. It was my first time going this past year, and I had a great experience. And I was looking up at these DJs, and like I guess this is just how I am. I'm not much of a crowd person. I don't really like being in crowds. I like being like away from all that, maybe looking at it. But I look at these DJs and I'm like, damn, I wish I could be a DJ. Like I actually, as soon as I got home from EDC, I bought myself a little like beginner's DJ kit, like a Hercules. I don't know what it's called, but I started just learning because I loved it. And now here I am with those thoughts in EDC. I'm looking at these DJs like, you guys are amazing. Like I wish. And now we have a DJ from EDC in our podcast. It's crazy how life works.
Exact story is what happened to me. Like I had been going to shows here and there for like a year or two, like before I ever even thought about DJing. I never wanted to, never even cared to DJ, but I loved the music already. And then I went to this festival called Life in Color, and I'm there watching a DJ, and I only watched him because I was living in Minnesota at the time, and I had tickets to see Steve Aoki, and this guy named Headhunters was playing right before him. And then I saw Headhunters on the Life in Color lineup. This was in winter break. I was down in Miami, and I'm like, oh, let's go check him out because I'm gonna go see him in February. I check him out, and this guy blew me away. Like I was like, yo, I saw him having so much fun on stage, and it clicked in my head. I'm like, I want to do that, and I did exactly what you said. When I went back home, I bought a controller, and that's all I did every day. Like I get home from practice, and I was just DJing, like not doing homework, just. Like from that moment on, like it clicked for me. I wanted to do that.
Yeah, it's fun, man. And shout out to EJ. He's the one that got you out here. So tell me a little bit about like where you're from. I don't know if you're born and raised in Miami or where your parents are from, but then also like where you went to school and how you guys met.
So born and raised in Hialeah.
Shout out to Hialeah out there.
Yes, sir. I met EJ in high school because I was playing with his. No, actually, I was at American Senior High. And then going into my junior year, this was supposed to be my turn to like start playing, but they were starting to recruit another shortstop to play that position. So I was like, damn, I gotta find like another school. And my best friend at the time, Danny Guerrero, we call him Breezy, he's neighbors with EJ. And he's like, oh, like my boy, like he plays for Goldman, and his little brother is gonna go to Goldman too, and his dad, he trains with me. So I went to Goldman and I trained with him that day. And at this time, I'm still like anti-Goldman because Goldman's like our rivals.
Yeah.
And from the first day, all I can remember is them telling me like, oh, you should come to Goldman, and I'm like, nah, never, it's never happening. It started with me starting to play a couple summer ball games with them, and I promise you, the first day, you had to wear like a Goldman jersey, and I didn't want to wear it. I might have not even worn it the first day, and everybody else wore it. That's how prideful I was.
No, the rivalry is real.
That I was not even gonna stay at.
Yeah.
And then every day, like the kids in the team, like, oh, you're coming to Goldman, right? You're coming to Goldman. I'm like, nah. And then like Tony brought Fernandez over to watch one of the games, and then Coach talked to me. He's like, hey, like we got a spot for you at Goldman, and like no one had shown that much interest for me at that level yet, and I was like, damn, like I gotta go where I'm wanted, and I switched and
pulled the trigger.
The rest is history. Like,
nah,
I never looked back from there.
It's a big move.
Goldman compared to American is a completely night and day
it's
difference.
Like a different city, different state, different country, way different culture. Yeah. The culture at American is very like there's a lot of fighting. Baseball was like started to become popular, but it wasn't as popular as football or wrestling. I wrestled a lot when I was an American, so that is something that I had to give up when I went to Goldman.
Yeah,
because
I feel like nobody at American is like prideful. Oh, I go to American. Whereas if you go to Goldman, like everybody like is really into like
the best decision ever.
I'm at Goldman, and everybody goes to the games. Everybody has a good time.
I grew up in Hialeah, and American wasn't like really a Hialeah atmosphere. It was more like Miami Gardens, Carol City, and when I went to Hialeah, to Goldman, I was like, yo, like these are my people here. Like we have a lot more things in common. And I think after like the first 4 weeks, I started having so much fun. I started going to parties for the first time. Like I was so nervous to go to parties because I never went to parties. Like I'm shitting bricks.
Yeah, so you're an introvert and you ended up being a DJ. That's interesting.
The most important part of the party now. And when I started going to parties at Goldman, I was so fucking nervous. Like, because I was like shy. I was like, well, like what am I gonna do at parties? I wasn't drinking yet. Like I had never drank before, maybe once or twice, and that's it. But that school completely changed me, and like I remember looking at my first report card, and I just broke down. I was like, oh my god, I can't go home.
Oh no,
just straight D's and F's. Oh, and like I'm so lucky that I had good grades going into it because I still had a good enough GPA to play. And I ended up graduating from Goldman with like a 2.4.
No,
just terrible. Like I'm going to.
It will do that to you
for sure.
It will do that to you.
Like I got not caught up, but like my lifestyle changed. Like we're just going to parties all the time and parties, practicing. No, I was never a school person. Dude, I have nightmares. I promise you, I have nightmares some days that I'm at class again.
No.
And I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, thank God I'm not in school.
Those weren't fun times.
Yo, and I bet you have this nightmare. Tell me how many. You probably have this nightmare too. How many times have you had a nightmare where you show up to the field and your name's not on the lineup and you're not playing? And I'm like, I grew up and like in college, high school, everything. Like I made sure I worked so hard that it wasn't even an option of me not playing. There's no way I wasn't playing. So like I would have dreams where my backup is starting and I'm not, and I'm just so embarrassed and everybody's running out to the field and I'm not, and then like the people watching the game like see that I'm not playing and I'm so embarrassed and I wake up and I'm like, oh thank God.
I know.
And my girlfriend is like, why are you freaking out about this?
Yeah, no, my version of it is I would have dreams. I'd get my hands shattered. I'd be jammed on an inside pitch, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm the worst baseball player of all time. But when I had the other dreams where I'm smashing balls is when I was going off. So for sure, your dreams have an impact on how
I've never had a good baseball dream.
For real?
They're all bad. Like there'd be like times where I can't hit the ball far at all. Like. Or I have dreams where they hit a ground ball to me and like I'm running and my legs just give out, like I can't run. It's like the dream where you're fighting and you can't punch hard. I have those all the time too.
I've had ones where I get a hit in the gap, but then I can't run and I get thrown out at first base.
And
it's like the heaviest legs.
You're struggling to run. And it's like, why can't I do it?
How'd you go from not really partying to being more of a party scene type of guy?
I would definitely say it was because I went to Goldman, and then by the time I left Goldman, I was so used to like just going to parties every weekend, and then like it was something of importance to me when I was going to college and picking a school to go to. Yeah. I was like, okay, are you guys good at baseball, and how are the parties? They sold me that the parties were great. I'm like, oh, dope. I get there, and it's like, oh god,
Yeah,
these parties are not good at all. I know. But it was like, I'm thinking like, it's got to be somewhat good, and it wasn't really good, but I got used to it, and over time my standards became different, and it got a little bit better. And then when I went to South Dakota, I went to the bigger, like, to a university, and the whole town revolved around that school, and it was less people, but the parties were better because when I went to St. Cloud, Minnesota, I was in a junior college, and there was a St. Cloud State, which was the big college, and they were the guys. They were the ones that it was easy for them to get into parties. Like, we're trying to go to their parties, but at Northern, they're trying to come to ours. We're throwing the parties at the houses, and that's when I started, like, that was the first time I ever threw my own party. Like, I would say, like, one of the first couple weeks, and then this is how I started DJing. They were opening a club the year that I got there, right next to the one bar that everyone goes to. And on the door of the club, like, bro, this is Aberdeen, South Dakota. Like, there's no clubs out there. Like, this is non-existent. Outside the door, I was 20, and the door said, looking for a DJ, has to be 21 years or older.
Wow.
And I'm just like, bro, like, this is meant for me. This is meant for me, bro. I had never DJed in front of anybody, only in my house. And, like, I was trash still, but I thought I was good enough to do it. And I knocked on the door, and someone answered, and I'm like, oh, I heard you're hiring DJ, and they're like, yeah, I'm the owner. And I literally, like, just pitched my case for like 10 minutes straight. Like, told the lady that I had been DJing since I was 18 years old in Miami. It's a complete lie. Like, I told her I'll DJ for free. I told her no one's gonna work as hard as me to be the best DJ you've ever had here. Like, no one will outwork me here. And, like, she was just completely sold. She's like, no, we're gonna pay you.
Wow.
Bro, I got paid $45 a night.
That's what's up, though.
I was getting paid minimum wage, but I promise you, like, I did not care about the money whatsoever, even though I needed it. I didn't care about it whatsoever.
Because why didn't you care about it?
I just wanted, like, the opportunity. Like, I had never DJed in a club. I was like, dude, it'll be so fun. Like, because I love it. And then she called me like a week later saying, like, oh, you're going to be our DJ Fridays and Saturday nights. I was like, dude, I felt like I won the lotto. I was like, let's go. Let's go.
Does that mean Friday, Saturday night, does that mean you get like a raise, or it's the same thing?
No, $45 a night, like $8. I got one raise. So it started off maybe like $8.25. And then after the first night, so going into the first night, I'm there preparing music. My roommate looks at me like we played baseball our whole life. So, like, I didn't really get nervous for anything when it came to baseball. And then he sees me on the couch, like, preparing music, and my boy's like, he's like, you nervous? I'm like, yo, a little bit. I'm like, nervous, bro. And then we're there pre-gaming, and, dude, I don't know what to expect. 0 people or a lot of people. And, dude, the place was at capacity, and there's people waiting to get in it. And I'm DJing for the first time in front of people, and nobody has any idea. And the place went off. Like, it was great. And the lady's like, oh, we're going to give you like a 50-cent raise, like, per hour.
Oh, wow.
But, like, I didn't care, bro. Like, I didn't care. And, like, I wasn't allowed to drink. Like, I was treated like an employee, like a regular employee. Like, I wasn't allowed to drink. Like, they would tell me, like, to wear, like, this company polo, and I just never did it. And they couldn't do anything about it because I did.
Just like Goldman.
yeah. But, like, I didn't do it because, like, even at that age, like, I understood brand. Like, I'm not going to be up there with, like, a company polo shirt. Like, I have my own brand. And, like, I'm going to dress how I want to dress. Like, I'm part of the party, not part of the club.
Yeah.
So, like, they would tell me I couldn't drink, and I would sneak in a flask in my pocket. Dude, thinking about it now, like, open to close, it's crazy. Like, and it would snow there, so sometimes no one would go because there's too much snow outside. And I was just DJing by myself in there for 5 hours.
That's what's up. You lived up to the Miami persona. You're in Minnesota. You're from Miami.
I couldn't have
DJing,
been more of a basic Miami guy.
With a flask,
bro.
though. This guy killed it.
Miami than that.
That was an experience. Like, I wouldn't give that up for anything. Like, I wish everybody could experience that, because some people would, like, kind of skip that whole phase because they started making music earlier, and I wasn't making music yet. So I was going to practice every day. I was working at Subway. I was working, like, the basketball games, and then I would DJ on the weekends, like, just nonstop. Like,
were you playing baseball too?
Yeah.
In that time? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's a grind. What else are you gonna do in Minnesota?
It was a grind. No, this was in South Dakota.
Oh, okay, South Dakota.
But this was a
same shit.
Complete grind, and still barely had money for rent. Like, I don't know how I survived, honestly. Like,
Yeah, that's how it is, bro. A lot of just survival mode, really.
Did you already have an idea of like, oh, I'm gonna be a huge DJ? Like,
Yeah,
that was
when
the
I saw
mentality.
that guy that made me decide I wanted to be DJ, the same flip switch, like I'm gonna play Ultra. Like,
Hell yeah.
it's weird. I never had that for baseball. Only when I was like a little kid. My parents, like, not my parents, my dad, like pretty much just like humbled me on the spot. Like when I was 5 years old, like you're not going to the major leagues.
Yeah.
Which like I wouldn't do that, but like I said, it happens for a reason. Like I'm glad it did.
It's good and bad he did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as I got older, like everything like changed. Like my family believes in me 100%. Like this is gonna happen. Like it's already going there. But I don't know, for some reason that day when I decided to be a DJ, like I promise you could ask me that day and I would have told you I'm playing Ultra in 4 years.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
said-
obviously not gonna
Wait,
happen.
you said the day that you decided you were gonna start to learn and play DJ.
Yeah, so it was
that
like
day you could have
2015, 2016, I thought I was gonna play Ultra in 2020. Dead ass.
the next year.
I
Or
dead ass tweeted that one day
How
too.
many years did you give yourself?
4.
4 years.
Yeah. So this
Okay.
is me going into it not having a clue
Are
what
we
it
coming
takes.
up to the 4 years, or where are we at right now?
2020 was the 4 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
2020
it was
the 4
obviously, but
years.
I already knew.
Yeah. But you had
I
high
think, like,
ambitions. You had.
Oh my God, I had so much confidence and ambition, like delusion. It was great. I needed that delusion. I needed to be delusional
to
when I was
EDC.
bad. Yeah. So I needed to be delusional when I was bad, because if somebody kind of would have like told me my shit sucked, I don't know how I would have taken it at the time. It was good that sometimes, I don't know if they lied to me or they actually thought it was good. Sometimes I would send them a mix and they'd be like, it's great. And I'm like, yeah. Like this is, for me, like good feedback and like success like motivates me a lot more than like a failure. Even though a failure motivates me too, but success motivates me more than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like by the time like 2019 came, I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not playing Ultra like
Yeah.
in 2020. And there wasn't even an Ultra in 2020.
That's right. It got
maybe
canceled.
that's
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I always said Ultra 2020 and it didn't even happen.
It didn't happen. So technically, you weren't wrong.
So I'm
Yeah,
good.
you're not wrong.
You're good.
You're not wrong.
But
I mean, honestly, I feel like EDC is just as big, if not bigger.
I would say they're on like, I would say they're on the same level.
I don't know. Ultra seems like, oh, that's like A, and then
To me,
Nah, I'll be
to
real.
me,
I don't care what anybody says. I think EDC is bigger now. I think Ultra was bigger before, but I
agree.
still think, and I only say that because in the United States, I feel like they have Ultra beat, but Ultra does other countries, and I don't. EDC doesn't do as many countries, so Ultra's might be bigger internationally.
Bro, I mean, I think it went pretty well for you, because you could have played on 2020 at Ultra, but it could have been like one of the side stages. You could have just
Yeah.
like you said, maybe been playing at 2 p.m. at Ultra in Miami.
100%.
When in reality, at least in my opinion, I think EDC is bigger than Ultra.
Yeah.
That's just what I think, and from what I've heard and from what I've seen, and I experienced it for the first time. I've been to Ultra, and then I saw EDC.
Yeah.
And wow, like I think you definitely, I think your goal was to play at Ultra, but you playing at EDC closing out,
It still is.
it's just as big. I think it's bigger,
Ultra
honestly,
still,
in my opinion.
Ultra still is my #1 goal. Like, I want to do it. Like EDC Vegas is the biggest one. EDC Orlando, I would be more excited to like play main stage EDC Orlando than main stage EDC Vegas, because like Orlando to me is like
It's the home team.
and Ultra Miami is like home. And like when
Yeah.
I got into listening to like electronic music, like it was all Ultra, like, and like my #1 goal is to close that festival main stage. So like that to me, I don't think it'll ever be replaced by EDC.
So I got a question for you. When it comes to getting to play in these big events like Ultra, EDC, or just any event really, how does that happen? Do you have like do you reach out to them yourself? Do you have a team that does that for you? Like, I've always wondered how that works in the behind the scenes of a DJ.
Yeah, I would. So like going into this year, everything happens because of who you know. But obviously, the bigger you get, the more people you know, and the more people know you. So I'm not sure if they've ever like just straight up called a manager and like or an agent. They probably work with agents more than anything. I don't have a booking agent yet. I only have a manager. So they probably just go straight to booking agents for most of them. But
What's the difference between a manager and a booking agent?
Manager is
'cause
just
I
like
don't know.
so booking agents I think their only job is to like get you bookings. They have connections with people that are doing parties all around the world, festivals, all that. it's not really a manager's job to get you bookings at all.
Okay.
The manager like handles everything past that. So like my goal this year is to get signed to a good booking agency. So then like let's say they have a roster of artists. Let's say Tiesto's one of their artists, right? Oh, Tiesto, we're gonna put him. Tiesto's closing Ultra this year, or let's say EDC Mexico. Oh yeah, we'll do Tiesto main stage 8 o'clock, and can you also do my boy Mikey here at the side stage at 4? Oh yeah. Like if you're with an agent that has people on their roster, like it's much easier to put them on. Like you're kind of like selling them with somebody that's bigger too. So that's kind of like our goal this year, like to get an agent. But for how EDC happened, really is I had like just signed with a new management. Well, that's like actually the company. So I've been working with Kevin as my manager, and then now him and this other guy, Paul Campbell, teamed up to manage me. And Paul Campbell is already like, he actually like put together Life in Color Festival, the festival that I was at, and decided I wanted to be a DJ.
Nice.
And like a side story, I told him like 3 years ago on Twitter that like one day we were gonna work together, like he was gonna book me for his festival.
Hard.
And I showed him that tweet when I signed with him, and he's like, that's insane. Because that festival doesn't really exist anymore.
You're big on like I guess calling things or manifesting.
I have this like delusion sometimes.
No, that's
like,
it's a good thing though. Do you believe in the law of attraction, or do you know about it?
100%.
Okay, I could tell. That's why I asked.
And before I signed with him, like I also sent him so much music that he blocked my email. And I didn't know that until he told me that day.
So how did you sign with him? If he blocked your email, how'd you even like get in contact? And
I guess I think he was at a point. This was like right before EDC. He was at a point where he was always managing one guy, I think, maybe a couple, and then he wanted to take on new clients, and I guess he had been hearing about me, and then he put up an Instagram story or something, looking for talent, and then Kevin shot him a message, and then he checked my stuff out, and then he was down to work with me.
Wow.
So then I met up with him in person, and then we started talking, and then we're cool, and then we made it official, and then he was asking me like what some of my main goals, and I told him like one of my main goals right now is playing EDC Orlando, and he has connections obviously with EDC and so many festivals because he's been in this game for a long time. He's managing artists that are already done all this stuff. So like it was a combination of him and also this DJ named 4B. I had just released a song with him in October, the month before, and he was playing EDC, and they asked him to play a second set at the Corona Beach stage, and they asked him to play like with someone else, and they asked him who he wanted to play with, and he said me. And he told me that, and I was just like, dude, no way.
That's crazy.
Like I look up to this dude, so like obviously I want to play a set with him, but now you're telling me like I get to play with you, and it's at EDC, like I straight up told him like, yo, don't play with my emotions like that.
And he was closing, like he was gonna close the night, or you knew that already or no?
I might have known that, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
And then like, so like that was the first day, and then even before that happened, he played main stage at like 4 or 5 o'clock, and it slammed. And normally like when he plays my song, like he'll bring me up. Like whenever he comes to Miami, I come out to the show and like he'll bring me up, like kind of like have fun, like get a cool video of us together for the song. And then, but we're at EDC, and like there's no really like space to be behind the booth at EDC. So I'm like in the VIP section, like on the side, but like looking from the crowd. And I hear our song start to come in, but I'm not thinking anything. Like I'm like, oh, like he's probably not gonna bring me out on this one. Like it would have been dope, but like we didn't plan on it. And then I hear him saying like on the mic, he's like, "Where's my boy Mikey?" I'm like, "Oh shit,
we out."
Yo, I fucking dipped. I ran. ran. His tour manager's looking for me, like on the railing. He's like, "Where's Mike? Where's Mike?" He sees me like I still have time to get there before the drop, and I wasn't that far because I kind of had a feeling that was gonna happen, but you never know. I'm running. Finally get like one of the security's like, wait, and then the tour manager's like, get out the way. And we're running, and we make it all the way. And now I'm on main stage EDC.
That's so funny.
Bro. And I'm out of breath. And he gives me the mic. I'm like, EDC. And I'm like, yo, I look out there and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I did not know there was this many people. You couldn't tell when you're on like flat ground. Bro.
I thought it would be like the opposite. Like you were ready for your moment, like that 8 Mile moment. You're in the porta potty or whatever, just like getting hyped and ready.
This wasn't when I played. He would just bring me out to play the song.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
okay.
giving-
Yeah.
I thought this was your performance.
No.
He's giving him his
This
props.
is before.
Wow.
So he's like bringing me out so we can get a cool video and like, oh, it's my boy Mikey, Miami, blah, blah, blah. And then I get on top of the stage and the song drops and I'm looking at the most people I've ever seen, like just, and there's so many, like when people like roar, there's so many people roaring at the same time toward you that you hear them over the music because the speakers are going that way.
Wow.
So that's why like in a DJ booth we have speakers right here because without that we won't be able to hear shit.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And I was like, holy fuck. And I just got off after that song, and while I'm walking back to stage, I'm walking back to the crowd to meet up with my girl and my family, and I'm like, my first thought was I could do this for the rest of my life. It was like a moment. It was like almost better than playing the set at the end of the night. It's like, then we get to the end of the set at night. It was on the side stage at Corona stage. So that one was planned. Like we already announced it. Everybody knew that was happening. But what's funny is that main stage moment, that's kind of like how me and him met. That exact thing happened. He did the same thing. Like he had started to play a couple of my tracks during 2021 early. And then I found out he was coming to Fort Lauderdale. So like, this is like, just like a quick like networking tip. Like, yo, like if somebody's playing your music, you should show up. And like meet them in person. Like, yo, like this guy's supporting your music. Like go support them and like put a face to the music. So I saw him there before his set got on. I'm like, yo, Mikey, blah, blah. He's like, oh, and like he was cool. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then when he starts bringing in one of my songs, he's like, yo, where's Mikey? And the same exact thing happened. I fucking ran. I was like, he's like, security, let him in. And he brought me on stage. And I was like, whoa, like this guy's so cool.
Yeah.
And then, yo, 2 weeks later, he says he's coming back to Miami. And I told my girl, I'm like, yo, we got to go again. Like he sees me again. Now he knows me. He knows my face. He claps me up. And he has 2 shows back to back, one Friday, one Saturday. And he's like, yo, what are you doing tomorrow? Because like I obviously wanted to go again tomorrow, but like COVID was still like happening big time, and like honestly, like my girl didn't know how much we should be going out because she has a serious job and she can't get COVID. And he's like, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, nothing. He's like, you want to play tomorrow? Like, play before me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, of course. I come back to Sammy and like, we're coming back tomorrow. She's like, no way.
Yeah.
So like those things happen because I decided I gotta show up. Like this guy's supporting my stuff. I gotta like come support him. Like he's somebody I want to be cool with, and like that's how our relationship started.
No, he recognized the talent. He's like, all right, like loves your music. Like I want to bring this guy with me.
Bro, that's the stuff that you like think about. Like, oh, what if he asked me to play? Like, that's stuff you think about, but it doesn't really happen. But it did happen to me.
It happens, dog.
It does happen.
It does happen. It happens often, and luck isn't an accident. When opportunity meets preparedness. So
I always say that.
Yeah.
You make your own luck.
Yeah, man.
Like none of that stuff. I possibly would not have played EDC if I didn't go to those shows.
You wouldn't have played EDC if you didn't pull up to that bar owner, club owner in South Dakota and told them, yo, I'm a DJ, let me play. That I think started everything. So that's big. It's those little like chances that you take that you don't know where it's gonna end up, but you're willing to just ride the wave and see where it takes you.
Just like
it took you to EDC, bro. That's crazy.
Like we were talking about earlier before we started. I was telling you, like when me and my girl go out, and like sometimes we'll go out, and it'll be like, okay, like I kind of am coming because I want to see this artist. At the end of the day, everybody I want to meet, like I'm not just doing it for my career. I actually do want to know these people, and I want to be friends with them, and I want to be cool with them, whether it's an artist or whatever. So it's like it'll be an artist that I actually do want to see and I actually like. So I'm going to watch an artist I like, and I also do want to see if there's an opportunity that I could talk to them. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But in that case, it happens. Yeah. Big time.
You're supporting that artist by going to the thing anyway.
That led to like me playing the show before him. It led to me forming a connection with the event company that threw that event, because they saw that he brought me on and they're like, oh, who's this guy from Miami? They never booked me before that. And then after that they were interested. Then it turned into like us sending music to each other, and then us finally having like a couple songs together, and then we finally got one where we actually like gonna put it out, and we put it out on Insomniac, which Insomniac is who owns EDC. So we put it out on their label.
Nice.
So it was like, like so many things happened at the same time that were like dream come true for me.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've always been curious just because I love DJing, I love music, and I would love to learn more about it. When you collaborate and with a DJ, for example, and he tells you like, yo, you're playing randomly, like you mentioned, do you go in there with a set already like ready and you know which one you're gonna play? Do you have multiple sets, or is it something where it's like, damn, I gotta create one really quick?
So you're saying when I'm playing with someone, or when I'm playing by myself?
Oh, well, just the story that you mentioned where he randomly told you like, yo, you want to play before me, and then you're like, yo, let's go. Did you already have one ready?
No, I always keep like when you play, because we play off USBs and it keeps a history of the songs that you played that night. So I have playlists going back to like 2020 of all the shows I've played, and it's in the order that I played them. Okay. So when he told me that, I only had a day to prepare for the next day, and I think the next day I had some things going on already, so I didn't really even have time to like. I like to put my songs in order of when I'm gonna start the song, when I'm gonna come out of the song, what order I'm gonna put it in. It's a science to it, like, so I don't have to think about it on the spot. When I get there on the spot, all I have to do is perform. But I couldn't. So that whole set, I just freestyled it. I went off like songs that I like and past sets that I've done. But normally, so I'll get into like the back-to-back. That's what it's called when like two DJs play together. For the back-to-back of me and him, it was kind of the same thing because we didn't plan it. We knew what we were gonna start with. We knew when we were gonna play our song in the middle, and we knew what sort of vibe we wanted to end with. So, but me and him are. I mean, I look up to him, so it's natural that like it's natural that me and him we like the same kind of music sometimes, and so much so that like during the set in the middle of EDC, I'm loading up a track, and I'm looking at his deck, one of his decks, to see like the beats per minute, the BPM.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm seeing 128. Oh, what song is it that he's gonna play after mine? And I see that he loaded up the same exact song as me, same exact time. Damn. And I'm like, yo, like we're like connected right now. Like this is crazy. Yeah. So like in that case, we both had songs that we both liked, and we're just kind of freestyling it. Like he's looking at what I'm gonna play next, I'm looking at what he's gonna play next. He's telling me, oh yeah, let's go into our song now, so we gotta bring it back down to house. Oh, I'm gonna play a couple like dubstep or Jersey club songs, so we're gonna bring up the energy a little bit. And then he's like, oh, like what do you want to end with? And I'm like, yo, like I feel like this remix I have, Titanium, will work great. I show him, he's like, perfect, that'll work. Boom. Like it was very flawless. Because
does that all happen within the set?
Yeah, we're talking to each other
within the set.
Yeah. Some of the things happened before, like we're like in the stadium right next to EDC, like in his green room. Like that's where we figured out like what we're gonna start with, and that's it.
I feel like that's a high pressure situation where you have the crowd currently having a great time and waiting for what's next, and then you're out here behind the scenes with your boy trying to figure out what is next and what we're gonna do.
It is, but it isn't, because
it's almost like I compare it to bartending, because I've bartended, before for years, and it's almost like if you're working with a bartender, you got all these people waiting for the drinks that are gonna be made, and it's just like you and your boy just putting on a show. Like, yo, you got this one, I'm gonna make this one, and then you make two of those, and then we figure it out, and then just like nonstop keep going.
What I would say about what I was a little nervous about him maybe going in a direction with the songs that maybe I run out of those kinds of songs, and I'm like, damn. But I told him that. But at the end of the day, like, we're both DJs, and we're both great DJs, and I told him that, and he's like, bro, don't even worry about that. I already did the heavy stuff, like, on the main stage. Like, I'm coming here, like, I want to play more house. Like, it was pretty much my style set. Yeah. And he's like, don't even worry about that. And, like, I promise you, like, when we were playing, I never even thought about that once, but the whole week going into it, I was a little nervous about that. I was like, damn, like, what if I don't have something to match the energy of the song that he played before? But it was exactly like baseball in a sense of like once I get in the batter's box, all that went out the window. Like I didn't even remember that. But it's I'm more comfortable going into a set that I'm playing by myself, because I know what I want to play next. I don't have to worry about anything. But me playing with him together, it was almost like me playing by myself.
Yo, I got a question for you. I've always wondered, when you're performing at EDC or one of these big events, are you allowed to, like, can you just go and be a fan and just have fun for like hours? Yeah,
I was do that. I was a fan.
So there's DJs in the so there's DJs that play at EDC within the crowd, and people may not even know.
Bro, I didn't see any DJs. So maybe I would see them in the stadium where the artist lounge is. That's where I would see them. Okay. I think that a lot of them have been to so many festivals already that there might be like one artist that they'll go see that they haven't seen because they've already seen it all. So like 4B wasn't in the crowd at EDC. Like he just showed up, played his set, and dipped like the next day. But me, like I'm still getting into this. Like, I'm getting my feet wet. Like, I'm at EDC all 3 days. Like, I'm in the crowd. Like, I'm in the VIP, but
That is awesome.
and like, but like, I'm in the crowd. I'm with my friends, my family, my girl. Like, I'm still a fan. Like,
That's so much fun.
I don't know when that's gonna stop. Maybe when I am traveling so much where it's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna do it.
Yeah.
But like, EDC Orlando to us is like something we look forward to all year. Like, I'm going to Ultra like in 2 weeks, GA, general admission. Just I'm gonna be with the people. Like,
that's important. Yeah,
like
that's important.
if I could get an artist pass, I would go and I go into VIP, but I don't. So like, I'm just going GA. Like, I'm still such a fan of the music.
I think it's important to just still be a fan and go GA and just experience it
100%.
as a fan, because when you're on the stage, you get a feel for what they're really feeling down there.
Bro, yes, I have, like, I think every single time I go out, I was watching a DJ, I get inspired every single time. Like, every person I watch, I'm like, wow, like, okay, maybe I should try that. Or they'll play a song that I might have not even heard or liked before, and I already heard it, and I saw the crowd reaction to it, and I'm like, you live for that reaction, even if like it maybe not be your favorite song ever, but like you kind of like love that reaction. It starts to make you think like, should I like this song? And then you kind of start liking it. And then I love the reaction it gets, so I start playing it.
Yeah.
But like I said, like if I'm at EDC or at Ultra, I'm watching the DJs and I'm learning at the same time. Like, let's say he plays a certain Drake song, right? And he goes into like, it's like Drake that goes into house. And I'm like, yo, I love Drake. I know a song that might work. Let me write in my notepad right now. This song by Drake, maybe it'll work into this kind of house track. And then when I get home, I'm preparing a set again, I look at my notes and I have ideas, and I'll start like trying to come up with like transitions or mashups that I can make with that, and I try it out.
Yeah.
But I think it's super important to see people, like it's like being in baseball and never going to watch the pros. Like, you gotta watch people that are doing it at the level you want to do it and doing it better. Like, they're veterans, they know what to do.
And that should inspire you. Like, those
It's
people
so
are
inspiring.
they're doing it at such a high level. It's like, damn, I eventually want to do shit as cool as they're doing. You're gonna take their transition.
It's so inspiring. There's little things that you could learn that you might not notice when you're. There's little things you can notice while you're DJing. I tweeted this the other day. Like, every time I DJ, still, I learn so much about DJing. Like, I go to a place. My last gig was at Pilo's Tequila Garden in Wynwood, and I'd only played there once. So going into it, I don't have that much experience there, and my first time there, it was kind of a different crowd than what they usually get. So I went in with the expectations of like, yeah, I'm gonna play a lot of Latin stuff. I'm gonna play like some regular like old school reggaeton, some cubatón. And honestly, when I played it, I feel like it didn't hit that much. And I'm like, damn, that's weird. Like, so then I started with like Latin house really quick, like within the first 5 minutes, and they liked that more. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Like, they'd rather hear more of the house than old school reggaeton, and like we're in Wynwood, so that's kind of weird. And then I would start to bring up the energy, and the more I brought up the energy and the more I talked on the mic, the more they got excited. And like I was like, whoa, like I just learned so much about this venue just from here. And you learn little things like you gotta have like, I think it's good to have like little moments of silence in the set. Like, give the crowd kind of a breather, and like you kind of like give them a chance to like, if they like what you're doing, like it gives them a chance to like applaud what you're doing.
Yeah.
You hear the feedback straight away. Like, you give them a little like shot, like.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good point you bring, to just continue to be a student of the game and be out there as a
100%.
fan and listen, because that's interesting what you said about how like some DJs they grab the mic and they interact with the crowd and the crowd loves it, like at a place like Pilo's in Wynwood.
Yeah.
But then you go to a place like Space, and most of the time in Space the
might not fly.
The mic isn't getting touched by the DJ
At all.
It's all about the music and the bass and the vibes, and the DJ doesn't say a word throughout
At
the
all.
whole set.
Yeah, and even there's guys like Gordo that he used to go by as Carnage. He's heavy. He used to be heavy on the mic when he
Oh,
was.
I didn't know. My bad. That's just me, I guess, being ignorant with the DJ world. I didn't know Carnage is now Gordo.
Yeah.
I've always known. I know Gordo and he rips shit, but I didn't know that
No way.
Gordo was Carnage.
Yes,
Because
yes, yes.
I've also heard of Carnage. I know who Carnage is, but I've never seen Gordo. But I've heard these great things about Gordo and how he mixes this house with Spanish sometimes and some rap and this and that.
Bro,
I'm like, damn,
it's
Gordo
so good.
sounds lit. And now you're telling me that Gordo is Carnage.
I have a whole.
So he went through a name change.
This is why I say I like to get on podcasts, because there's so many stories I have that I've gone through already that it's like, it's too long to just say in a tweet and it doesn't come across.
Yeah.
Bro, my history with him is like, that same festival that I wanted to be DJ, Life in Color, I saw him, and I'm like, wow, he ripped it. Like, he's playing hardstyle trap. Like, I got into electronic music because I was a hip hop head, and Carnage started like remixing hip hop songs and making like trap music, and like, so it would be like remixes to hip hop songs with a drop, or it was a remix to an EDM song, like house, and he'd make it like with hip hop drums. It was like heavy on the 808s, and I loved it. So it was like best of both worlds to me. And then, bro, I've seen Carnage like 20 times in my life, I swear to God, probably more.
Nice.
And so he was like always one of my idols, because he was like the first DJ that I saw that he's Latino, and like he has a loud personality, super confident. And at the time, there wasn't guys like him. All the guys were like European, like these white guys, deep V-neck. Like, I didn't really relate to that at all. I related much more to his personality, especially being an athlete, where like we grew up being confident. Like, I related so much more to him, like the shit talking, like he's gonna talk his shit and he's gonna back it up. So, bro, I've seen him my first year in college. I drove 4 hours to go see him.
Wow.
In Minneapolis. No, 2 hours. See him in Minneapolis in the snow. One of the best shows I've ever seen.
Nice.
The next year, I saw him again at the same venue. I was even further. I drove 5 hours. Saw him again. Still at this time, the second time I had started DJing, but I wasn't making music. Fast forward to, I would say 2021, early 2021, like maybe the end of 2020, October. He had just started he started doing Gordo shows, house stuff. And this company, the company that I did the 4B show with, that he asked me to play, was at Koyo Taco. And the company that did it, they're called Blank Canvas. They were doing Gordo's first house event at 1-800 Lucky in Wynwood. And they asked me to play it. And I was like, yo, I'm playing Gordo's show? That's crazy. So, like, I got to play his first ever house show in Miami. I think it was anywhere. And I'm like, yo, it's crazy how, like, people attract. Like, I've looked up to this guy. He's been one of my favorite DJs for so long, and now I get to play, like, his show. And then fast forward a couple years to last year, I've been sending him music for years, but I've never gotten a response. He didn't even know who I was. I only met him like as a fan. I used to wait outside like the venue, like for him to come out asking for a picture. Mm-hmm. And then his manager texts me, and he texts me at the same time. His manager says, yo, do you want to play Carnage's last show in LA? And because he was going like on a 4-city tour to be the end of Carnage, and he's only doing Gordo now. And he's like, you want to play direct support right before Carnage in LA? And I'm at Cooper's Hawk in Doral, and I'm like, no way.
That's hard.
Like, they're asking me to play Carnage's last show. Like, this dude that I've looked up to for so long. Mm-hmm. And Gordo hits me up on Instagram. He's like, yo, this track is crazy. I sent him like a remix. It's a song I have on SoundCloud called Leaders. He's like, this song is crazy. And he started playing it, and I'm like, yo, this guy's playing my music. This is insane. Bro. And I'm like, I'm just freaking out. I'm like, yo, it's crazy how the people that you love, like, they attract to you, like, somehow. And then, like, it's coming to summertime, and it's time to, like, it wasn't even negotiation. I was like, I don't even know what I'm getting paid, but I said yes. And, like, I asked them, like, yo, like, can I get paid this? I threw out a crazy number, and they're like, that's what we're planning to pay you anyways. And I'm like,
nice.
Hell
bro,
yeah.
Before this day, I think the most I had ever gotten paid was like, bro, maybe like $250 to DJ. And other than that, like, I started doing my own party, and I got paid more for that, obviously, way more. And I threw out a crazy number. I threw out a couple thousand. And they said yes. And I looked at my girl, I'm like, no fucking way.
So the deal was that you were gonna play a whole set?
Yeah, right
them?
Before Carnage.
Oh, right before.
Right before, like, direct support. So the flyer says Carnage, like, grand finale in Los Angeles, and right under Carnage says Mikey Barreneche. Like,
hell yeah.
Pro.
So how does that work? Like, do they want you to play, and then they don't give you a price, and they expect you to maybe, like, throw them an invoice, or how does that get?
Sometimes they send you like a direct offer with a price, and sometimes they ask you, like, what's your rate? In this situation, I have no leverage to be asking for anything.
So they thought you had a rate, and they're like, yo, what do you need? Or?
I honestly don't even think I don't know if, so I was just talking to his manager. I don't think that they would have even negotiated. I think he might have known that this was already a good offer for me, and it might have been like, yo, like, this is what we're gonna pay, like, you take it or leave it, or we give it to someone else, because a lot of people will take this opportunity. I honestly would have done
That's
it
true,
for
yeah.
a flight in a hotel.
That's
Yeah.
true, yeah.
I would have done it for a flight in a hotel. Like I had no leverage in the situation, and I just threw out that crazy number, and he said yes, and I was like, and it was crazy because I was talking to my boy Brian Softwell. He got hit up for the New York one, and we're just both looking at each other like, yo, I can't believe this shit's happening. And I'm like, yo, could you imagine we get paid like a couple $1,000s? And like I said that like fucking around. And when they said, yeah, that's what we're gonna give you, I was like, dude, like I promise you my life changed that day, because not only am I gonna go do this big show in LA that's just sold out, which was already a crazy story in itself, like that changed completely, because it almost felt like other bookers found out about it. Because from that day on, I never ever got like a lowball offer again. Like my price went
I feel like that
up
all
like
goes
10x.
back around, because at first you were okay with pennies. You didn't care.
Yeah.
You just wanted a DJ. And then with
Yeah.
that mentality, it took you to getting paid what you thought was from what you told me, like too much. You're just like, let me just throw this out there. And I'm sure you were probably thinking like they were going to counter and then you were going to take it anyways, and they took it. So that's amazing.
Yeah, he single-handedly like raised my booking offer like 10x, bro.
What did they pay you, if you don't mind me asking?
2,000.
For that
So,
show? Yo,
I was only getting paid like 200.
That's
before that.
amazing.
So 2,000 is like.
So how does that
Isn't that literally like 10x, right?
No, that's
Yes.
So I was like, dude, like, I felt like the fucking man.
So how does that change your booking now? After you get paid that, do you like approach others in a way where it's like, look, I've been paid this much, so I'm not gonna do it because this is my
100%.
price? Yeah.
It's.
So that was like the start.
It's not a solid price, right? Like you don't get paid the same for every show, but now there's a number in my head that I'm definitely not going up below. No
Gotcha.
chance. You're not gonna get 2,000 every time, but that also affects like who I'd rather play with. There's a lot of factors that go into it, how they treat you, how good is the party. But like obviously if somebody's paying me more, like I'm more likely to go with them. But from that day on, like I started to kind of a little bit like live off of my music from DJing, which before was like non-existent. Like I was not counting on that money at all. Now it's like half and half.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a little, because this is something that we also like to talk about, where if you're hustling and you're following your passion, it's not as simple as dropping everything you have going on in your life and don't worry about your bills, don't worry about your job, and go chase your passion. You have to find that balance of both. So how was it for you when you were just starting off as a DJ and you knew you loved it and wanted to pursue it, but you also had to, pay the bills and live life just like anyone else?
I've done everything, bro. I've done, like I said, for the first 4 years, I was making pennies, bro. I was playing shows for free, like, and that's not to say that you shouldn't take a show for free, because I have another story about that. But I mean, at this point, I haven't done it in a long time, and maybe a year, but whatever. Like, and I've worked at a sushi spot. I used to work for a locksmith company where like you go door to door, and I would walk the entire 49th Street, and all the businesses have a sticker. If you, next time you go to a business, there'll be a sticker that says something locksmith, and you take off the other company sticker and you put your company. So like if they ever get locked out, they call the sticker right
What
there.
a hustle, what a grind.
So I'm going up to all these businesses and they're like, what are they doing? What is he doing? And like at some point they get used to it, and I'm just walking the entire 49th Street every day. And like, and either there, Carroll City, I'll be in ghetto neighborhoods, like bad neighborhoods too.
Yeah.
And like, I'm honestly like maybe this isn't a good mentality to have, but from having to do it in those neighborhoods, it kind of made me like less worried about being there, because like everybody was super cool to me when I would be around there, and I was like, yo, I was doing that shit for like $10 an hour, bro. I've done Amazon. I work. I used to work in construction a little bit. Like all these things.
I like that you hop around from job to job while pursuing your passion, because I feel like sometimes people stick to their job and drain their time and energy there, and then they maybe like dabble and hop in and out of their passions.
Oh my God.
But I feel like it's necessary to do what you did, and like, bro, if you're broke for a little bit, that's okay, as long as you're following your passion.
I was broke for a lot of it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like find a job and then get paid here while you're pursuing your passion, and then if it's not working out, go find another job and hop around, but never lose sight of where you want to go.
Bro, and it wasn't even that I was choosing to get hopped around. Honestly, I would just get fired. Because like they could tell I wasn't dedicated. And
of course.
Most of these jobs, bro, like if you're not willing to slave away for them, they will choose the other person that is willing to slave away for them. And it just comes down to who wants it more. And I'm definitely the guy that wants it the least when it comes to those jobs. Like my last job I got fired from was Amazon. It was damn, it was maybe early 2021, late 2022. Late 2021, early 2022. I started working with Amazon, and bro, it was just insane the amount of packages they would give you, and you're in a group chat with everybody that works with you, and all of them are like in competition to finish first, and I'm like, you people are insane. Like, you are literally getting taken advantage of, and this is why they give us too many packages, because all of you guys are willing to slave away. And like, it wasn't even like reasonable, bro. It was way too much. Like, I would start at 9 and we'd be finishing at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and it was just like, bro, you don't have time to pee.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like, if they would have just went down on the packages, the job would be chilling, and like, it would be a good job. You're still delivering a bunch of packages, but they just pile it on to the point where sometimes I would get there and I'm like, how am I gonna fit all this in this truck? That's how much it would be. And I'm like, how am I gonna fit all this? Like, you just literally just gotta find a way to fit on it, and there's just boxes on boxes on boxes on boxes. But yeah, after Christmas, they're like, oh yeah, we gotta talk to you. You're not one of our top drivers, so we're gonna let you go. And I'm like, damn,
that's
for real?
cold.
But I left home that day like, this is a reason. There's a reason for this.
Yeah.
And I think probably like a month later, like that Carnage thing happened.
Wow.
I started to get like more respect after that, honestly, like in this city from bookers here after the LA and the Carnage thing. And I started to get paid more. And for the last 4 to 3 years, I've been working part-time also for the audiovisual company, like setting up events like speakers, lights, LED screens here and there, a lot of weddings, like setting up the speakers, corporate events. And it was more part-time, then I started working more and more with them, and now it's kind of like it's back to part-time, but it's like half and half. Like, I would say half my income comes from DJing and a little less than half comes from them. So now I'm making more money DJing than I am with my real job. Yeah. But I'm still like, I'm keeping it real. Like, I'm still out here like hustling. Like, I still have not made it by any means. Like, I have not been able. I don't make enough money to move out. Like, I make enough money to pay my car, my insurance, my health insurance, all that stuff with music, which is fucking crazy to me. But things are rough out here.
Miami's an animal.
Yo, I cannot pay. I don't make enough money yet to like live on my own. Like, there's no chance. Like, so I'm super blessed that I can still live with my mom, stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
but that's the sacrifice that I have to make. Like,
I have a feeling that next time we bring you on, because we're going to bring you on for more episodes. Like, months later, you're going to come back and tell us
back when I move out.
What you've been doing. Yeah. Next episode, I feel like you're going to have been moved out, 100% making just money from DJ, no more part-time job.
Oh
and then
my
just
God,
keep
I can't wait.
I have a feeling that we're going to interview you like a week before you do your fucking your set at Ultra.
Dude.
Yeah.
That'd be fire. But when you said about like people, I know a lot of people that do that. They get into a job and then the career, the dream takes the back seat. And like, dude, I cannot even imagine that. Like, I'll be dead before I do that.
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
I always tell people like, I would be living under a bridge before I do that. It's do or die for me. Like, I used to have on my whiteboard right next to my desk, it said my life depends on it. Like, because when you start making music, like, bro, it's super discouraging. You suck. It's not like baseball where you go out to the park and it's fun. Oh, you're hitting, it's fun. Like, even if you have a bad day hitting whatever, catch ground balls, catch fly balls, it's fun. You're with your boys. When you're making music, you're by yourself in your mom's apartment, in your room, and you're just grinding away, watching YouTube videos, sitting on a chair, not moving, and it's just so discouraging. Like, but that's why I had that on my whiteboard. Like, my life depends on this. The life that I want to live as a DJ, I have to make music, and I have to make music that people like, and that I like.
Do you like, are you into space? Have you ever performed there? You ever want to perform in there?
I want to. I've gone to space maybe like less than 10 times. Bro, the DJs get on there like at 3, 4 a.m.
It's different. It's different.
So if I want to go see a DJ that I like, and like my girl doesn't really like, she likes house music, but not so techie. So like most of the people that I would want to see there, she doesn't. And then it's like, bro, like I'm not gonna come home like at 8 in the morning.
It's a different vibe. It's a different crowd for sure.
Yeah, and
I think I prefer the more like
I love it though
vibe as opposed to.
I love it, but I'm more into like what you'd call a way more mainstream crowd. Like, I'd much rather like
Diplo type of vibe.
Yeah, like Diplo I would say Diplo and DJ Snake are like my number one people that I would look at. I want my career to be like. So they're making like mainstream music, EDM world, but they're also making hip hop, reggaeton, pop. That's what I want to do.
When you look back at like where you came from and where you went to school and like, you know, your classmates and stuff, are any of them pursuing DJing?
Music?
Yeah, like not music, just like DJing. like you are? Or?
I don't think so. When I was in high school, when I was at Goldman, there was 2 guys that were making music, and I remember that. Like I was like, yo, that's so crazy. Dude. How do you make music?
There's always a small
come up with a sound.
There's always a small select of individuals that are into the music, and then let's see where it takes them. But you're one of those that you were into the music in high school, and it took you to.
No, I wasn't. In high school, I wasn't. I got into it in college, and then my junior year of I didn't start producing until I was done playing baseball. So 2017, 2018. 2018 I started making music.
That's amazing.
And when you're a DJ, like you think producing is like there's 2 sides of DJing. There's the actual moving the controller and then actually producing the music behind the sines. Like you think
Totally
it's necessary
different.
for both.
You have to. If you want to do the world that I'm in, like you want to play EDC Ultra, you're not getting booked because you're such a good DJ. Maybe that's a plus, big plus. You're getting booked because you make songs that people listen to and people like, and that in turn makes you create demand and they want to come see you. So like people are going to come see your set because they like your music and they listen to it on Spotify. And then on top of that, if you're a really good DJ, oh damn, you guys see his live sets are great. That's like a plus though. That's like once you're already in. Yeah. So like I love DJing more than anything. I only produce because I want to DJ. But like over time, like I did start to like some aspects of producing, but if I were to compare the two, it's like here and here for me. Like
so there's you would say there's a big difference between being a DJ that just gets a bunch of songs and puts them together in a mix as opposed to a DJ that makes his own music.
For sure. Like I think if you're not making your own music, you wouldn't be able to make it in that electronic world. It's because
so how do you
I could anybody, not anybody, but I could go on stage and play all of Tiesto's songs. I could go play all of Diplo's songs, but no one's gonna come watch me play their songs. They would rather go see Diplo and Tiesto play it. Simple as that. Like
I thought with the DJ, it's the mix of like this song sounds really good with this song, so you mix the two and then you continue that wave throughout the whole set. But you're telling me like the biggest key to being a DJ is making your own music, like making your own drops and your own. So how'd you get into that? Like, because just for me, my experience, I haven't got too deep into it when it comes to learning how to DJ, but I was learning the mixes, how to mix this song with this song because they sound good together. How do you go from learning that aspect of DJing to then also learning how to make your own music?
So when I was in college, I was still playing baseball and I was still going to school, so my time was limited, and like I said, my love was for DJing first. I knew I had to start making music at some point, but I said like, this is what I love the DJing part, so I'm gonna learn the craft of DJing first, and then once I'm done playing college ball, like I'm gonna start producing when I move back to Miami. So that's what I did.
So it took you like how many years to learn the DJ part first?
Bro, I'm still learning. I wouldn't say like I had ever stopped, but to the point where it's hard to say to the point where I thought I was good because I always thought I was. But if I'm trying to look back, it's hard because now I'm better right now than I ever was. So much better. Because now I'm getting new experiences. Now I'm showing up to clubs and I'm not playing when the night starts. I'm not playing the whole night. I'm showing up now at peak time after there's been a couple DJs playing, and there's different things you learn in those moments. Like now I'm the guy that has to like just blow it out of the water. Now I'm not just showing up and DJing other people's music. I am playing my songs too. So people come and they want to hear my songs also. So like 50% of my set is my songs. So how am I gonna mix my songs with other songs that I want to play too? It's a different ballgame. But I would say not even in 2018 when I started making music was I still like a super crazy good DJ. Like I would say right now I'm better.
Yeah, and like you said, there's people like these artists that you look up to. They're hearing your songs. You're sending it to them, or they find it on their own. And they're playing your songs. Like that's how you're gonna build notoriety. Is like they respect your hustle, your craft. Like you're putting in the work on the computer to get these songs as top quality as you can.
Yeah, that's how you get your name out there. Really, from the beginning, is like other DJs playing your tracks. So like that's really how you start to build the relationships with all these people, and like you build credibility. Like as soon as one of these big artists starts playing your music, like it's like a badge of honor. Like, oh, if this guy's playing his song, then like it must be good, kind of thing. But like when it comes to DJing, I forgot to say this. Like I always thought I was good, but now I'm at a point that I could be as unbiased as possible. That I could go and watch somebody that is big, but I could tell. People say this, right? But I mean it, and I know it's right. Like, I could watch someone and say, I DJ so much better than this guy. But that doesn't mean that I should be where he's at. That just means I may be better at DJing than him, but he is making songs that more people like. And that combined with his skill of DJing, and I'm not saying they might be a bad DJ, but they're not up to par with me in DJing, but they got me beat with the music. And that kind of counts for more in this industry.
Yeah, the sound.
I think you're gonna get there though. I mean, I think you're there, if not like about to get there, because I've seen your rise. Like, I've been following you because of Kevin. I know Kevin, your manager. I've known him since high school, and I've seen what he's been doing. And bro, I see what you guys do. Like, when you pull up to places, everyone loves you guys. Like, you turn, and that's important when it comes to DJing. It's not like you're going to a crowd that's already there and hoping they like you. No, you guys do it in a way where like you let everyone know, yo, look, we're gonna be at Chico Malo on Wednesday night. Everybody pull up. Everybody wants to pull up. Everybody's excited to pull up. They're pre-gaming. They know they're gonna go see you guys. When they go there, that love, like, you feel that.
Oh my God,
that's just.
I tweeted about it the other day. Like, it feels like it took a long time to get like the hometown love, and when I finally got it,
it's
like,
love.
it's
and
like,
I've been there.
wow,
I'm telling you, I've
like,
been there, and I felt it, and it is different. It's like, just different.
Like, other people started to catch on before Miami, and it's like, damn, like, why don't they like get it yet? But then now they're getting it. And at the same time, as like there is people coming for us, there's a lot of people coming that didn't know who I was before that night. And there's a lot of people that are going because their friend might know who I am. And then there's a lot of people that just might like going to Chico Malo, or they just might like going to Pilos. So when I'm going into the set, I'm overall the most, like, I'm going to make myself happy during the set. Like, I'm playing what I like the entire set. I'm going to make people that like my music happy. So I'm going to make sure I play my songs. Like, I didn't make the song because I don't want to play it. I love the song. And then I also want to take care of the people that it might be the first time ever seeing me. So I'm trying to win them over. And then there's a person that's a friend of a friend of a friend that is like not even into house music. And if I could turn them over, oh my God, that could become a super fan, because I got them into like this EDM world, this house music world. And like, I'm trying to like hit all those areas, but it's not even like because I want to just get the most fans ever. It's like, it just comes natural for me for some reason. Like, I want to just like win over everybody in the crowd, all like in the employees and everything.
I think that's what you guys specialize in. And again, I've witnessed this firsthand. Before we met for the first time today, but I had known about you, I've heard about you, and I've seen you, and it's real. Like, the people out there really love you. You're really putting on for the city, and wherever Mikey's at, we want to be there. And we want to experience that. So that right there, when you drop your next track or your next single, everyone's going to love it. Everyone's going to want to be there, want to see you. And that's going to create that energy for when you tell DJs about the track that you just released or you're about to release. That combination of love, support, and the realness with the fans, I feel like is the reason why you're going to take over in the city.
I'm there like in the middle of the set every single time, especially in Miami. A little less when I'm somewhere else, because when I'm somewhere else, the connection isn't as deep. Like, I still kill it, and we have a great time, and people there become fans. But there's a different connection when I'm here because I had to work so hard to win them over, and like, I've been here, I've been to these places, like I've seen it so many times where I'm like, God, I should be there. Like, it should be me. And like, I'm there just mid-set, seeing how many people are there, like truly enjoying it, loving what I'm doing, and I'm just looking up like, I cannot believe this is happening. I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. I keep saying it every time in my head. Like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I'm just looking up like, holy shit. Like, I'm actually like the guy right now. Like they all came to see.
Feeling in the world. I mean, everyone in there is full of positivity and love.
It can't be matched. Like, I in baseball terms, it's like hitting a base hit. So like, when I drop a song, it could either fall flat or it could work great. If it falls flat, like, oh fuck, gotta get out of that. I'm not gonna play that one next time. So it could be like getting out. It never feels like striking out, never. It could be like I got out. A lot of times it feels like I'm getting a hit nonstop, just base hit after base hit. Some feels like a double, and then some moments, some gigs will feel like I hit 3 home runs during the night, because there's certain moments that is a home run. A moment that I play a song, I get on the mic a little bit, like tell everybody, put your lights up, everybody puts your lights up, and I'm like, yo, I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe that worked. Like, I said it and you actually did it. Like, you guys are actually feeling this, what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And that is like a home run. Like, you can't feel your legs. Like, can't feel anything.
I love hearing that from a DJ himself, because as a fan, when I hear DJs say that and when I see them, you know, like speak to the crowd and stuff, like it almost to me seems like this guy's a pro. He knows that everyone's gonna put his phone out, like he knows what's up. But then it's
for the most part,
from your perspective, you're just a normal person, just like all of us. And you're here speaking with confidence, telling everyone to put your phones out, put the flashlights out, and like everyone does it, everyone loves you, but then it's funny because in your head you're like, yo, this is crazy.
Dude, bro, especially for me, because like I was telling you guys earlier, like I'm like naturally like an introvert at first. So bro, like for me at school, like getting up and doing a presentation, bro, I might not show up to class. Like fucking fail me, bro. I'd rather fail than show up and do this presentation. Like, and you know what's weird that I never caught on to when I was a kid? That every time I did have to do the presentation, it was like I just flipped a switch. It happened more in college. Flipped the switch, and it happened more when I had to talk about something I loved. And the specific moment I remember is I went to school for business management, so at the end, our final project was you had to form a business plan and a presentation of what your business is. And bro, I'm in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Everybody's like nail salon, hair salon, barbershop, trucking company. And I get up there and fucking Ultra Music Festival's on the PowerPoint.
You Miami the fuck out.
Bro. And I'm like, goal.
Did they even know what that was?
No, my fucking teacher is like.
That's so funny.
My professor wasn't. He loved it. He was cool as fuck. And I'm like, my goal is to have a record label, my own record label, and I want. This is our this is our competition, and my competition was Tiesto's, Hardwell, Martin Garrix, Spinning Records, and then it was like, this is my target audience. Boom, 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 boom. These are the cities. This is my goals for this record label, is to have our own stage at these festivals, EDC, Ultra, Tomorrowland. And my teacher is like, literally his jaws just dropped, like, what the fuck is going on? But that day, like a flip just switched. Like, I didn't want to do it, and I guess since I was talking about what I loved, it was so easy. Like, once I did it, I was like, I could have just kept going and kept going. Like, I wish I still had the PowerPoint today.
Hey.
But why I bring that up is because of the mic thing. Like, one of my favorite DJs is 4B, and he talks a lot on the mic, and I love it. Like, there's people that talk on the mic, and it's a little bit like, it's okay. But he talks on the mic, and at the end of the night, you feel like you know the guy. Like, you want him to talk on the mic. Like, you want him to talk to us. It's like they're talking to us while they're DJing, and Carnage was the same way. Like, it hypes you up so much, and like in a good way. And it's like you're showing more of your personality than just DJing. So I've listened to their sets so many times. I still listen to it, like, especially on days that I'm DJing. I'll pull up a 4B set. I'll pull up, there's another DJ called Don Hot. He's an open format DJ in Miami. Pull up an old Carnage set. Anybody that's really good on the mic, and I'll make sure I listen to it on that day that I'm DJing, and I pay attention to the things that they're saying on the mic. Like, oh, is that something I would say, or do I just feel weird saying that? Is that something I would say? And I write down my notes, things to say while I'm DJing. And I still have yet to open that notes app while I'm DJing because I forget that I have it. And I was looking at it the other day, and I'm like, damn, I could have said this, could have said that. But that my last show at Pilo is like little by little, I've been trying to get better at the mic. So now it's like a requirement on my writer. Like, yo, you guys need to have a mic for me. Like, I need to talk on the mic because now it's becoming part of my set. And my girl was telling me, like, after last, she was like, I was impressed. Like, you talked so good on the mic. And I was like, really? Every time I talk on it, I'm like, almost every time, I'm like, damn, I hope this works. Like, I don't know if they're gonna do it. Like, I was like, damn, should I do it? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. And like, it's the more that it works, the more natural it comes for me. But like, cause like off the DJ booth, I'm completely the opposite person. I'm not like that.
Like everything, break your comfort zone.
I'm not like trying to hype people up at all.
Yeah.
When I go out normally, like, I'm just chilling, like drinking, like having my own time. Like, you could look at me and think that I'm just bored, and I'm not.
Bro, I'm the same as you, because no one would ever think that I'd start a podcast, because I'm the most quiet person in the room. It's just the way I am. I like to just be chill, just low key, not say much to myself. And here I am starting a podcast, hosting one, which requires a lot of talking. You'd think, like, at least I would think I'd never do this, but I mean, it's similar to what you said. Like, when I started my first one, it didn't go like, you know, didn't go that well at all. But I just kind of picked up the mic and I just started going with it. I'm like, fuck it, bro. Like, 100%. It is what it is.
Bro, you don't want to hear my first song.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And still, some of those early songs, like, they're on Spotify and some people like them, and I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm never gonna play that.
How
so
has it
you're never
been
gonna hear
with,
it.
now that you mention that, because I feel like a lot of times when you're trying to be an artist, you need to realize that your friends are your friends because they're your
Right.
friends, but your fans are going to be the people that don't even know you, that have never met
Right.
you. That, I mean, me, for example, I'm a fan of yours, and we had never met until today.
Yeah.
So how has it been for you to, like, have your friends been supporting you the whole time from the beginning, or you've had to separate yourself, or like maybe sacrifice more time away from your friends just because you're
Oh, yeah.
focused?
So in the beginning, I would say your friends all for it. Like I would say, like, you have your core group of friends, and my core has never left my back. Like, they've always been there. But I have like a lot of friends. So like at first, a lot of people are willing to come. A lot of people that you know. So you're like, damn, I could get this many people out here. Like, for my first time in Miami, like, that's crazy. And this happens to other DJs when they start DJing. They don't know that, yeah, they're gonna come this first couple times, but that thing of, oh, let's go see Mikey, he just started DJing, is gonna wear off. So if they don't really like it, they're not gonna keep coming, and they won't. There's people that showed up to maybe my fifth show that I've known my whole life that have never been to another one again. And it's not, you cannot take it personal. Like, they might have wanted to like just show up support once, and that's it. And there's people that come back around that didn't go to any that you've known your whole life, and now they're coming around now. Maybe it'll be the hype, maybe they just like the music more now. One thing, you just can't take it personally. You have to like just look at it like no one's gonna show up every time. Like, you can't depend on any of your friends to show up. I'm lucky, like my girlfriend's like my biggest fan by far. So I'm lucky, like, up in that part. Some people aren't as lucky to have that. But you can't depend on your friends. How many friends do you have really that you talk to like on a weekly basis? Maybe 5. Most of my friends, half of my best friends don't even live in Miami. So you really have to like say like, okay, I'm an artist that has no friends, and I'm just trying to capture like real fans. Because your biggest fans, except for me, your biggest fans is somebody that lives in fucking buttfuck Egypt, California, or South Dakota that has never even met you in your life. They're buying merch. But bro, it's weird. Like, I have friends that hasn't even been to a show, and they support every post, they buy merch, and they support in different ways. So some people just might not like going out. Like, you really, at the end of the day, like, I would just tell people, don't take it personal. Like, you cannot, that's the worst thing you could do. Like, if you text your friend, like, and I don't text anybody like to tell them to come either, because I don't want to put anyone in the position to be like they can't say no now. Like, I don't tell any of them. I market everything I do on my social media, and like, if you wanna go, you'll go. I hate when people say, oh, like, bro, you never send me your music. Like, what do I look like, bro? Does Bad Bunny send you his music? He doesn't, right? But you listen to it.
Yeah.
So why would I send you my music? Like, I'm not saying I'm Bad Bunny, but you care enough to look up on Spotify Bad Bunny. Like, you could look up Mikey. I post it. I've come up with different ways to market my music. Do all these things for it to catch your eye, not for you to like tell me in person. Like, when people say that, I know they're full of shit. Like, they don't really care.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would I text you?
They would find you.
You can literally just look up my name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when they're like, oh, is your like, I'm a little less like, not strict. I don't know the word for it. Like, when people ask me if my music's on Spotify, in my head I'm a little bit like at this point you should know it is. Like, I'm not like, this is not like a new thing. Like, this is like a serious thing. Like, this is my
these
life.
aren't like rough drafts that I'm.
This
that
is
I'm,
not like I
hear.
just started DJing and my stuff's on YouTube. No, like, this is real. But yeah, it's like, I'm not gonna text you my stuff and then you just leave it on red.
Have you ever come across, like, after a show or during a show, a fan that you know, like, just loves you and is happy to see you?
Every time.
How is that feeling? Like, you know, coming from where you come from, just being a fan within yourself and loving DJs, and then having someone that you don't know come up to you and say, wow, Mikey, like, I'm a huge fan. How does that feel?
The first time it happened to me was the first time I played in LA, like in 2019.
Damn, in LA?
Yeah,
wow,
like
that's different.
That's a whole.
That's the other side of the country. That's
a
amazing.
whole story. I'm gonna try to tell the story right after I tell you this. But so, I was in LA. I just got off, and these kids would just come up to me. They're like, "Oh, can you sign my flag?" I was like, "What?" what? And this was at a point that where people in Miami.
Did you even have like a signature at that point? Had you
Bro,
practiced?
you know
for
how
that
many
day?
times I practiced my signature?
Yeah.
I played baseball my whole life.
Same. That's
I
all do.
had my autograph down point. Like, I would do it every single day in school. So like, it's on point. But I remember signing the flag, and that was at a time in my career while I was early. This was only my second year of like releasing music. So the LA people were catching on to it, but like Miami didn't give a fuck. Like, so I had much more fans in Miami. I mean, in LA than Miami. Now I would say it's pretty even. But overall, one day LA will have the most because they have such a bigger market for this kind of music. But bro, that show happened because I was one of my best friends lives in LA, and he would normally come down to visit, and he's like, yo, I can't come down, but fuck it, I'll fly you up here. And I'm like, dope, never been to LA, I'm down. And I have a couple friends there that I make music with that I've never seen in person. I tell my boy, his name's Black Jesus, like, yo, I'm coming to LA, like, let's link. And he's like, yo, like, I'm doing a show, like, you want to play? And I'm like,
wow.
Of course. And then there was another show of this other guy I know, his name's Lil Texas, and he was like co-headlining it with this other guy named Ben Nicky, and I was just gonna go as a fan. It was at like one of their biggest clubs called Academy, and the guy opening the show, his name's Crime Family. I also knew him because he plays my music. He was like the first guy in LA to ever play my music. I get a random call. I already know I'm playing the Black Jesus show, which is a smaller show in a small club. I'm already hyped for it, and I'm going to LA see my best friend, and I get a random number from a phone number I don't know. I call, and I'm like, yo. He's like, yo, it's Crime Family. I'm like, yo, what's good? He's like, yo, you want to play the Lil Texas Ben Nicky show at Academy? I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, nah, you're lying. He's like, no, I'm being dead ass. Like, I have a 2-hour set, and I'll split it, and I'll give you the first hour. I'm like, bro, yes, of course I will. Yeah. So, bro, I just got my first gig in LA because of someone I know.
That's
and
crazy.
what I told you earlier, like, about not taking stuff for free, that would be, I'm obviously not getting money. Like, I'd be stupid to ask for money at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, like, this is such a good opportunity for me. I don't care about the money. So that's how I got my first show in LA, and I remember on my way there, like, yo, my stomach, like, got butterflies. I'm nervous as fuck, bro. Like, I don't know if anyone's gonna show up. I remember getting to the venue, like, bro, like the first 5 minutes, like, my hands are numb, like, I can't feel it. And I see a line outside already. I'm like, yo, for real? Like, at 10 o'clock? That doesn't exist in Miami. As soon as they opened the doors, it was just flooded in. Immediately got packed, and I'm like, wow, bro. Like, I remember seeing the videos at the end of the night, like, yo, I can't believe this happened. Like, I just played to a packed crowd, like, way sooner than I ever should have. Mm-hmm. And I killed it. Like, I did great. And like, it's just something I'll never forget. And that was the same day that the kid asked me to sign the flag. Like, that was the first day that I felt like an artist, like a known artist.
That's amazing.
And then I just came back to Miami. I was just like a normal person again.
Yeah. You're an up and coming popping DJ. Like, your whole thing is like, you gotta find music that's gonna inspire the people to move the way you want to move. How do you find your music?
Most of it is at this point now, like I said, 50% of the music is music that I make. I would say the other 30, I'll say another 30% is music that gets sent to me, because I have like I call it a radio show, but it's just like I record an hour mix every month and I put it on SoundCloud, and I've been doing it since I started DJing, so probably since 2015, 16.
Sure. So
So you could see like the progression from the first one to this episode. I would do it every month, so we're on month 60 something now. And so at first I was like looking up music myself, playing other people's music. Now, since that music radio show has gotten recognition, and I've gotten more recognition, I've gotten added to like record labels. They have this thing called InFlight, which is a website where they like send an email to DJs, and they're like, oh, we subscribe to our record label, and like you get all their songs that are coming out on their record label like a week or a month before they come out. So I get most of the songs from there. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of songs would be like random kid on SoundCloud made a remix to Bad Bunny, and I'm like, yo, this is hard. Yeah. And I download it. Or my friends, I have a lot of friends at this point that make music, and I play a lot of their music too. Like, I'd rather play my friends' music if it's good.
No, I was asking because, like, how many people, like, like where you were are trying to get to where you're at. It's like, damn, like I want to send my shit
Sending
to
me
Mikey.
music? Easy. It's just promo at MikeyBarreneche.com.
There it is.
I have it on my SoundCloud. And people, like, every week, people ask me on Instagram, like, can you send me, how can I send you music? Or they just send it. And I tell them, like, yo, can you send it to this email? And, like, the reason I do it is because if it's in my DM and I read it, then that notification is not there. And, like, I'm probably going to forget, like, when I go in the car. So every Monday, like, I go to that email and I'll have, like, 60 emails, 60 songs, and I listen to all the emails, and I'll probably download up to, like, 3 or 4 every week. And that's pretty much the best. Like, I make it easy to get in contact with me through email because I was that guy and I still am that guy. Like, I still am sending music to Diplo, Tiesto, everybody, hoping that they play it. And, like, I was the guy that was searching for emails, and I found emails that I was never even supposed to have. And that has brought me opportunities faster than, like, what they put out in the public. So, like, my last song that I just released, like, was on Martin Garrix's label, and he has, like, a demo submission thing, like, for the public. And I would submit to it for years, never ever got no response. And I think one day I was watching something, I found out who the, like, label owner was, and I'm like, oh, let me try to find his email. I found his email. I think, like, the first or second email I sent him, he's like, yo, we want to sign this. And I'm like, yo, I just, like, cut that corner of the demo submission.
Yeah.
But, like, that only happened because I put in the work and I tried to find it. And I do that for everyone. Like, bro, I can't even tell you how I found Diplo's email. I don't remember. The first time he responded to me, I'm like, okay, is it fake?
Diplo
so I texted,
responded to you?
Yeah.
Through email?
Yeah.
Wow.
So first he would download them. But so, like, I was like, is this fake? It's just Gmail. And then
It's just a Gmail.
so I would think that you had like an at Diplo.com, and it's not. So then the first time he would, but I knew it was him at first because he would only download, and on SoundCloud you could see who downloads, and it said downloaded by Diplo. I'm like, whoa. So this happened a couple times during 2020. He was doing live streams with Dylan Francis, and then one day I'm just chilling in my bed, and a bunch of people start messaging me on Instagram like, yo, Diplo's playing your song. I'm like, what? And I look, and he's playing it on the Instagram live. He's playing a remix that I made to Planet Rock. And I'm like, yo, that's weird because he didn't download that one when I sent it to him. So I still to this day don't know.
How you got it, yeah.
So, like, I'll ask him one day, but like I actually don't even think he ever. I think after that I sent him like, yo, like, what if, like, I recreate the song and make it an original, and then I forgot what he said, and then it just didn't end up happening, and then I still haven't told the story, but I'm waiting for the podcast to say it. So that my last song that I just released now, I had sent it to him. I'm like, I was about to release it last summer. Like, no one knows still why I didn't drop it. And then 2 days before, I'm like, yo, I'm not dropping it. Like, it's been pushed back. And it's because I sent the email to Diplo saying, yo, I'm dropping this song. And he writes back, I'm at the gym. He's like, yo, can I hop on this? Like, as a collab? I'm freaking out. I'm like, yo, of course I'm gonna cancel this. Like,
Yeah, hold on to that one.
I'm gonna hold on to it. So then we start talking, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, bro, this guy has an insane schedule, like, of music. He has, like, so many projects.
Did he call you, or was this all through email?
This was through email, and then, like, a little bit through text after. And then, so that was another thing. It's like, yo, I fucking just texted Diplo. That's crazy. And then he just texted me back. What the fuck? But then, like, bro, he's got a lot of things going on, and he had to kept pushing it back. And I didn't want to keep bothering him, so I just told him, yo, like, I know you want to hop on this, but I think it's just best if I just release the song on my own. Like, I told him there's nothing more I would want to release this with you. Like, you're my fucking idol.
Right there.
But to me, it was like I didn't want to keep bothering him. So, like, I didn't want it to get to a point where it's like, he doesn't really want to do it anymore, and I'm still hanging on to it. So I told him, and he's like, yeah, all right. And I just released it on my own.
Yeah.
Like, it was the biggest, like, song that I had that was unreleased, like, played by more DJs than I've ever had someone play one of my songs. So, like, unfortunately that didn't happen, but like, those things happen that nobody ever knows.
I think he'll respect you for that.
I hope so.
I think it'll happen in the future. I mean, if
it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah. No, you still haven't made your best song. Like,
at all.
They're coming.
At all.
Yeah.
So, like, if he likes that one, like, he's gonna like another one, and he has. I still send him music today, and he still downloads more of the music that I sent him today. One day he might like another one. Maybe one day he sends me another day. Who knows? But the reason why I brought up, why I was like, damn, is this really him? Because that day when he said that, can I hop on this? I know another guy that works with him. I texted him and I'm like, yo, is this his email? And he's like, yeah, that's him. He was just talking to me about the song there at Tomorrowland. And I'm like, oh my God.
Fire.
And like, these are one of these moments where it's like, I'm not where I want to be yet, but if Diplo is willing to like something that I made 3 years ago in 2020, that much, like, I'm doing something right. Like, I have what it takes. Like, he's playing this song at all the festivals he's playing at right now. He's playing at Tomorrowland. Like, I have what it takes. He thinks my track is on par with everything else he's playing during the set.
Yo, shout out to Diplo. He's one of my favorite
Big
DJs.
shout out. Dude.
One of my favorites. He's a legend.
Huge idol for me. Like,
I saw he posted something. I don't know if you know about this, but he posted something like a couple weeks ago or last month or something, talking about how his story is he moved to India. And
I think for a little bit, yeah.
He moved to India by himself just to discover like a new world or a new life.
Wasn't it for like a movie or something?
I don't know the details, but what I know is that he posted something and it was a long caption and I read it. And from what I remember, it had something to do with he was very young at the time, like a teenager, and he moved out to India by himself. Mm-hmm. And that's what really like just caught my attention. And then I kept reading, and then from there he read that he got into music and he got into DJing while he was in India, just I guess finding himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if he started DJing in India or if that was the place, but I think he did go there for like to make a movie or something like crazy. And
something, but that's just
I just
story.
relate to him so much because like I think he was born in Philly, but he grew up in Florida. And like I relate to him so much because like you could tell this guy loves DJing. Like he'll pop up at a freaking restaurant of somebody's that he knows, I guess, and DJ there and doing like a pop-up party here, and then the next day he'll be playing at a big stage. Like I love that kind of thing. Like that's when you could tell someone really loves DJing. Like he'll DJ in a freaking hotel room after a set in Vegas. Like I love those kind of little things. Like if you ever get to experience like a little party like that, it's honestly like better because like you feel like you're at a house party, but this guy's DJing. It's like, whoa. Like if you don't really love DJing, you're not gonna do it. You're gonna play your set at the big club and go home. Mm-hmm. But I relate to him because of that, and like just because he likes so many different kinds of music, same as me, and like he does it. He has a couple different projects, but he does a lot under Diplo. Like he does country, rap.
Yeah, he does.
Everything. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to be. Like, I don't only want to make house. Like, bro, if I could make a song with Bad Bunny, Justin Bieber, Adele, God, I would love to. Yeah. I don't even have to have my name on it. Like, I would love for my name to be on it, but if I could just, like, produce a record on their album, like, that'd be crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. A lot of artists, like, they're debating do I sign with a label? Do I become independent? Like, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think is the best way?
In our world, it's more like you sign with a label per song. So it's not so much of like this big label is going to give you a lump sum of money to have ownership over like all your songs for this amount of time. It's more like, so like my last song was on Martin Garrix's label, right? But they only own the rights to 50% of that song, none of my other music. So like, with this contract, it was like, okay, like we want this one, and then we want dibs on the one that you're gonna put on next, because they want to build a relationship with the artist. Mm-hmm. They don't want to just like one and dip. They want the label's called Stamped Records. They want the Stamped Records fans to become familiar with the artist. They want them to build a relationship with me. So then like you're known as kind of like a little bit like a stamped artist. So like my next release, I sent them another song, and they want that one too. So then like that contract is kind of like recurring. So like now for the song after the one I got coming up with them, they have dibs on the next one. So like they have like 30 days to respond if they want it or not. If they say no, then I could send it to other people, and I'm freed of that contract. But all my other contracts have just been like, they're all the same, except I didn't have to send them my next song. So they're all just one track deals. But I think you could get up to a certain point in this world where a big record label might offer you like a lump sum, but it's not very common in our world. It's not like hip hop.
That's probably better.
Even in hip hop, I would say make sure you're signing a deal, whether it's a one song deal or not, where you're not stuck with them and you could use their resources to better your career. But at the end of the day, you do want to free yourself from them. And if nobody wants your song, and you should try to do it on your own. Like, you're gonna make more money, you have more freedom. Like, you don't want to be tied down to what they want to release of your music, and then they also own like 50% of it.
Yeah.
So like, if it pops off, then it's like you're getting half the money.
No, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to not do the crazy long-term contract that like hip-hop artists get into.
One of my favorite hip-hop artists is Russ, and he's just like, he was with a label for a little bit,
Yeah.
but he's all about being independent, and like that's how I want to be. Like, I want to look at my royalties one day and just be looking like, wow, like I'm making this amount a month,
Yeah.
Russ
no
is
matter
amazing.
what, and it's going straight to me.
I love Russ for that. He's very
Bro, yes.
independent. He does it his own. And so
I read
much-
his book, like I watch every interview and listen to all his songs. Like, his
he's-
strategy is like, that's kind of how you have to be. Like, you have to be more than an artist. At some point, you become a businessman also. I can't speak for everybody, but I mean, I've always loved business. I knew since I was in high school that I wanted to go into business, because the school that we went to at Goldman, there was kids that their parents had a lot of money at that school, and I didn't come from that. I went there with a fake address, and I would go to parties and I'd ask the kid. I remember being at one party and I asked the kid, like, what does your parents do? Every time I asked that, they own their own business. I was like, bro, I gotta have my own business one day. So I remember even before making music, like I would come up with business plans. Like, damn, like I want to open my own gym, but it also has like batting cages and this and that, and then I gotta have leagues and do this and that. So like I've always been like business oriented, and I would say like halfway through last year and this year, the business aspect has taken up at least 50% of the time now, or more. So it's like 50% business and 50% music.
When it comes to like being an artist, do you have a schedule where you, or like maybe a strategy where you tell yourself, right, well, I'm gonna focus on my craft and myself as an artist and making music for this many hours on this day, but then tomorrow I'm gonna focus my time all on sending music to bigger artists or sending like emails to people and more on the business side? Or is it something where you just it's more of like an impulsive thing where you just do it as it comes?
No, bro, it has, in my opinion, it has to be organized. Like, if you can't do business on the fly, like I think it has to be organized. So like I used to, when I started making music, when I was learning, dude, I would promise you I'd be there for like 6 to 7 hours a day. Just any time that I had was to making music, because there was no business to run, there was nothing to do. So I don't know if I would have changed that going back, but it definitely isn't healthy. Like, it's, no matter where I was like, fuck, I gotta be making music right now. But then I forgot who it was that I watched. It was some entrepreneur, and he was like, I do it in spurts. So I think he said like maybe he does an hour, a break, then he goes back at it another hour, whatever.
Oh, David Goggins? Was it him?
I listened to a lot of David Goggins, but I don't think it was him. It was somebody that was saying like it was this time of focus where you don't even look at your phone. So after that day, it was probably like 2 years ago. No, it was during 2020. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make music for 50 minutes, take a 10-minute break, or not, whatever I'm feeling, and then go back at it for another 50 minutes. And I have the clock, and even if I want to keep going, like, I'm not going to second past that until the next day. And if you do that 5 days a week at least, like, bro, the amount of production that you're gonna have is insane. And so like after those, bro, that's less than 2 hours throughout the day. I have the rest of the day to knock out tasks. So I use the Google Tasks app, and I have tasks like send email to this person with the date and the time, and I have like a email schedule thing on my email. So like I could put it to where like it sends out the email whenever I want. So I'll make sure it sends at 1 o'clock, where that person might be on their desk on a weekday.
How do you stay motivated and focused, keyword focused, in a city like Miami?
Easy. I'm at my mom's house.
Okay.
It's so easy. Like, I'm not living on Brickell, South Beach. Like, I'm looking out my window. I'm looking at a parking lot in Hialeah. Like, I mean, I lived here my whole life. Going out,
but
just
still,
to go out.
There's a lot of there's distractions, but there's also in this city a lot of temptations.
I would
How do you just
say,
stay focused? Is it just your passion for the music just keeps you?
because I don't want to do it. It's just I don't like to go out just to go out. Like maybe when I was younger, yes, but like when I go out, it's to see a DJ that I want perform, or that's like 90% of the time, like 95. Like to me there is no temptations because I'm just not tempted by it at all.
It's almost like you put your fun to the side for your passion.
It's no, like this is fun for me.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm doing exactly what I want to do all the time. Like to me, like just going to Wynwood just to go, it sounds like hell to me. Like I would never want to do that.
Yeah.
Like it's only like for occasions that I do. But like going to like live to see a DJ that I like, it's the best for me. But like just to go to a random bar just to go, like
it's draining.
Yeah.
It's not draining. It's just like I just don't want to. Like, what am I gonna go? I'm gonna go, and no disrespect to them, but like I'm gonna go and listen to music that I don't want to listen to.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be making my own music, and like what you said about crowds earlier. Like I kind of don't like that either. Like being like in a random bar in the crowd like this, like.
Oh, I've never been a fan of that.
It's more fun when you have like I would say it's more fun for me if I go with like a group and we have like our own table. It's more fun.
Definitely.
Even if I don't like the music.
Yeah, I like my space. If I want to be in the crowd, then I can go and walk in the crowd. But like you said, having a table, like it makes all the
way more fun
difference.
because you have your own spot.
Like me, yeah.
I don't have to stand, bro. My legs get tired so fast. Like my legs start to hurt, dude. Like when I'm DJing and I'm DJing for 2 hours, bro, I'm on the bed that day. Like fuck, my legs are in pain and I gotta take ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Like I told my girl, like, yo, if I'm ever playing more than an hour, I have this fatigue mat, like that you put in the kitchen. Okay. That open format DJs use it the most. Like you stand on it and bro, your legs don't hurt after. Wow. It's so weird.
A mat.
It's like cushioning. Yeah, it's a mat. And I use it for like my corporate gigs because my corporate gigs, like if I'm DJing a corporate thing for like a company, a holiday party or whatever, like those are like 5-6 hours. So I started using it and I'm like, damn, this is the best. So I gotta start using those because, dude, my legs hurt the most. But like I said, that Miami temptation thing, it really doesn't exist for me, and I wouldn't say that's the case for everyone. That's kind of like not normal for like someone living in Miami. That's our age.
Yeah, I say it because for the people listening, a lot of people like, you know how Miami.
But I see it, I see it. When you ask me if there's people from my high school that are trying to get into music, like not many, but there's a lot of people that I know that I met after. That were from not necessarily my high school, only a couple of them, but more from other high schools that they picked up a controller and they wanted to start DJing and they wanted to be a DJ, but they all quit. And I see a lot of them, they're still stuck on being a fan instead of the artist. I'm still a fan now, but I'm much more of an artist than a fan. Like I'm a fan in the sense of like I love the music, I love listening to it, but I'm not going to the club every single weekend and staying at space till 9 a.m. and then your next day is all fucked. Like I'm not saying that I'm like I stick to the plan every single day of making music, but like so I see people doing that and I'm like, dude, you're lost. Like you're not gonna compete with someone else that's waking up today. I wake up at 2:00 p.m. because I go to sleep late from like doing the music things, but like I'm up late for a different reason.
Yeah.
Like you have to want you have to want this more than that, so much more. Like then, and also there's a lot of people that you got to leave behind, unfortunately. Like you cannot take everyone with you. Like not everyone has the same interests. Like the people that are around me understand that I'm not gonna go to a lot of things that they go to, and it's not like oh bro, we're really not gonna come. It's none of that. It's like he's doing his thing. Like this is not just.
Yeah, you gotta respect that. The older we get, the more.
I have no time to be friends with someone that is gonna take it personal. That I'm not gonna go with them to Centro.
I feel like the older we get, the more valuable we see time is.
Yeah.
And especially the older we get, and the less school we have, and the more of a life that we create for ourselves, where we create our own schedule now. We don't have to go to high school from this time to this time, and then practice from this time to. It's like we have a clean slate, and now we make whatever we want out of our lives. So I feel like that the older we get, the more important it is to realize, like, you know, what the important things in life are. And like you said, those nights are fun, but I like to do it at this point in my life for occasion, whether it's like a celebration or a birthday, because if I just do it for fun, it's a great time. And that's the thing, like, it's fun. So if I just do it for fun all the time, my next mornings are gonna affect everything. It's gonna affect my morning and then 100%. My day, and then that next night I'm behind on everything that I didn't do for the day, and it becomes a vicious cycle that once you have more responsibilities, you just can't. It's not sustainable. No. If you have goals, and if you want to.
It feels good though, like getting work done before the night comes, and then amazing. You could go out. Yeah. It feels amazing, bro.
Yeah, bro. Those
when no matter what, if you really do, like if I have 6-7 beers, that next day I'm waking up like fuck.
Nah, and it puts your next day at a detriment.
It affects the next day instead of waking up fresh.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, my mental state is better when like I have my routine going. Like when I wake up, make breakfast. The first thing I try to knock out is the 2 hours of music, and then I get to the task. Like when I have that routine going, then I knock out the task. If I could have almost everything done by the time I go to the gym at 5:36, and then I come back home, and then like I only have one thing to do, an email, and then the rest of the day I live guilt free, because I'm not where I want to be, but bro, I put in work for 2 hours, and I'm not gonna kill myself and be like, fuck, should I be working more? Like, I know I'm working hard. I know I'm working a lot. And at the same time, like, there has to be a balance. Like, I can't just work and have, like, no, like, I don't know what the word for it is, but I'm happier when I'm doing only 2 hours of making music and then knocking out my task, and then not feeling guilty when I'm watching a show. I feel really good watching it because I'm like, I put in my work today. Mm-hmm. It's like going to the batting cage. It's like, there's only so many hours you could hit. Like, there's only so many hours I could make music before my brain is fried that day. Like, I don't want to go into the next day not eager to make music. Like, some day it's a hard day and it sucks, and I look at it like, okay, that day's out the way. Better today than tomorrow. And when that time limit comes, oh fuck, thank God. And sometimes that time limit comes and I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm on a roll right now, but fuck it. And the next day I wake up and I can't wait to get back to it. Like,
bro, that's how we've been with this podcast the last.
It's non-stop, bro.
Non-stop.
There's only one way, and it's put your priorities in place and what's important to you. And if that's really important to you, you're gonna be obsessed about it. You're gonna do it every day.
But that time limit was big for me, because anything else I would do before, I would feel so guilty. I'd be like, because like I've had ingrained into my head like every second, every hour. Yeah. That podcast, I don't know if you saw that I put on my story the other day, that Eric Thomas, do you know his famous speech?
Yeah.
He's like, you want it as bad as you want to breathe. And he's like, every second, every hour,
I have
every
it tattooed
minute.
on me, dog.
No.
How bad do you want it tattooed?
Bro,
on me?
that speech Danny Breezy showed me when we were in high school, and that
Eric
shit,
Thomas.
Yo,
that was the first
speech,
one I ever heard.
Fucking, like, I was already really into motivation, but that one hit me for the rest of my life.
Everything for me too.
But it also, like, in a negative way a little bit, because when I started making music, every second of every hour I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing music. Mm-hmm. But I take things from a bunch of different successful people, and I do what keeps me the happiest. And like the time limit, I love not feeling guilty. Like, I only feel guilty if I didn't make music that day.
The pursuit of knowledge of other people that are successful and applying it to yourself is, I think, super key into becoming successful. Because if they're successful, they're doing it, like, there's a pattern to success, and if you just emulate those things in your life, it's gonna happen.
Especially like in a world of music or podcasts, like, I feel like the kind of people that get into it, maybe not podcasts, but especially music, a lot of people that do music, they grew up like on the computer, like maybe weren't doing sports. Like, I was the complete opposite. Like, I have seen it, how much of an advantage I have over other artists, because I came from a game of failure. I came from having to motivate myself, having to work hard as shit to still not be the best guy. Like, the failure thing is the biggest one, because like, you're gonna get told so many times no, or no response, and it's like, bro, if I get 3 out of 10 responses yes, I'm lit. It's exactly like baseball. But to a normal kid that grew up like what? Let's say he was doing piano lessons when he was a kid, playing guitar, and now he's into electronic music. He has a big advantage when it comes to creating, but when it comes to the mental stuff, like maybe when you tell that kid no, he's gonna take it so different. When you tell me no, when you tell me no, it's like I almost don't believe you. It's like, really? Like, it's like, okay, one day you are gonna say yeah.
Yeah.
But someone else might take it really bad. The other day, I worked in a van at a hotel. I was working in, I was working till like midnight. And I was working by the beach. I got home like 12:45, 1 a.m. I'm tired, bro. I woke up at 9 a.m. that day, and work's got to get done.
Yeah.
I had to put in my 2 hours of music, and bro, it was I have to eat too. It was 5:30 in the morning. My neck was hurting. And I was like falling asleep on the computer, and I was like, yo, I got to put in this work, and if I wake up tomorrow and this shit's trash, it's trash. But I put in the work. I woke up the next day. It was good. There was one part that was trash. I took it out, and that's it. But like I felt good about it. It was like that was one of those moments again where it's like a normal person would not go from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. working and then go home and make music. Like
easy to quit right there.
That sounds insane.
Yeah.
And like what he said earlier about people, like I know a lot of people like that like they have the job just like me, but like the job overtook it and they stopped. And to me that's like that's death to me. Like no, it's not an option.
Bro, the thing about a job is that it's so draining because it's time and energy that's being taken away from your passion, your craft, like what you want to do. And once you're done with that like shift, you don't feel like doing anything else, and it's hard. That's why it's sad to see, but like you said, some people will drain their time and energy on that job, and then they'll put their passion in the back seat. When in my eyes, like the way we should all do it, and that's what I'm trying to inspire everyone to do, is somehow find a way to find a good balance so that you can overcome your job with your passion.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll work. Sometimes people don't even know how to make money off their passion, but it doesn't matter. Like you need to continue to want to be better and really love it, and then it's gonna come like in many ways and like several streams of income. It'll open up to you, and doors will open. Like you can send a message today, and then you keep grinding, and then 3 weeks later, when you thought that they never got it or aren't gonna get it, someone like Diplo replies on a Gmail, and it's just like, wow. Life-changing.
I think it's when people everybody has different situations, so everything's not the same as my situation, but I think at the end of the day, everybody that lets like their job take over their dream, like bro, we only have one life. We have to do everything we can to like hit that home run with our dream. If you don't, like, you're gonna look back, you're gonna be bitter. There's no way you're not gonna be bitter when you're 60, 70 years old and you see someone else doing what you wanted to do. I think everybody knows what they have to do. Not everyone does it. Like, I know exactly what I have to do, and I'm doing all I can to do it. And the other people that are not making it happen, they know exactly what they have to do, and they're just not doing it.
It's easy to talk about it. Executing is a whole different move. Is like you say, you write it down and then commit to doing it and knock out that task list until you get something done, and then you'll see over time all these little wins end up becoming something huge.
Yeah, for me, it's like a pride thing already at this point. It's exactly like that nightmare that I told you of showing up and your name's not on the lineup. That's how embarrassing it would be to me if my dreams didn't come true and I just like stopped DJing and I got a regular job and I just went back to doing something normal. That would almost be more embarrassing than like not starting. It's just not even a thought in my mind.
It's not in the cards.
That is that you not making it is a possibility, which is crazy. So every time I think about that, I'm like, yo, that's scary. I have to do everything in my power so that doesn't happen.
Yeah. I told EJ the other day, like last week or something, I'm like, bro, I go so hard. I'm so willing to do anything that it takes that I promise you I'm going to get to everywhere I need to go, and all my goals are going to get crushed, because if they don't and I die, bro, and I go to heaven and it's judgment day, I'm just going to be like, yo, what's up, man? Like, you saw me. Like, you know what I did. You know what I wanted. You know what I tried. Like,
But if you die trying, it's straight.
That's exactly.
Like, it's like, I forgot what guy said this, but he was like, it's like when I think this one might have been Goggins. It's like, when I die and I see the guy that is everything I could have been, I want it to be the same exact person. So like, I'll die trying. Yeah. Before anything.
Get rich or die trying.
I see it as in like, there's no way that I'm gonna be 50 years old and still not where I want to be. I'm thinking so crazy like that. Like, there's no
what's
way.
the beauty in DJing is that you can be a 50-year-old DJ.
Yeah. Like, there's no way that I could keep on doing what I'm doing, learning more, progressing. Numbers are going up. There's no way that in 10 years, 14 years, that I won't be where I want to be because of the way things are going. Like, it could only go up. It cannot go down for me. Like, if I just keep on at it, I can only get better at making music if I keep going. I could only get better at DJing, marketing, everything. I could only, like, you could lose fans, but like, we're in today's age, we could look at our social media and see like how many are we gaining and losing every month, and like how the percentage just keeps going up of how many I'm gaining every month. So it's like, I see it happening. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, no, you're only just starting though.
So I've always thought like in 10 years spans, and honestly, it's even more than that. Like, if it takes me up to 50, I'm going. Like, I'm not stopping. And if you put that in front of someone else that is like, oh yeah, try it out. If it happens, it happens. You're done. You already lost.
Yeah. No, you are gonna be on an ultra stage. 50,000 people in front of you.
Clip it when I play it. No when doubt, I announce.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you will, bro.
No,
you're gonna come back on another episode and talk about that experience. It's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen. We know it's gonna happen.
It's still hard to imagine, but
you have the right mindset. So as long as you continue that's all that matters. Your mind is the strongest thing in your body. So if your mind is right, which from our conversations, it's completely in the right path, it's gonna happen. You're just gonna continue to work hard. You're gonna make the connections that you need to make, and then like EJ said, you're so new to this that your best song hasn't even been created yet. So just imagine that. When you think about how crazy it is to be on that not EDC, the Ultra stage.
Yeah.
Just think about how crazy it is that you haven't even made your best song yet.
Right. Bro. That's why when someone says no to like a record label I want to be on, says no, or an artist doesn't play it, I'm just like, I'll make a better one tomorrow.
It's like, not yet.
I'll make a better one tomorrow. I'll make a better one the next day, the next day, the next day.
How do you get better? What's your way of becoming a better DJ? Are there certain things that you study or certain people that you study?
Yeah, DJing wise, at this point, so like once you're past the point of like you learn how to like mix on YouTube, like I learned how to like DJ on YouTube, like the fundamentals. And then there's things that you can only learn by experience, like I said, like little moments of silence, mic work, what you can say on the mic, how long you should stay on one genre. I would say now at this point I'm just learning from other people. I'm just watching sets. I watch sets on YouTube, listen to sets. I see what works. I would say, and I never practiced DJing in my house ever. Like at this point, I used to, but I would say in the last couple of years, never. Like I used to even like practice my set, because like I said, I like to put it in order, even though it'll be in that order. And after the first hour, I'll look and I'm like, yeah, those probably not gonna work, and I'll just like start freestyling. But like I used to like practice the transitions and stuff in my house, but I don't do that anymore either. I just do it on my laptop. Like I'll see if the transition sounds good, and then like the first time I do it is in person.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. I have a question for you when it comes to being a DJ and your schedule, right? Like, do you know your schedule each month, or does it get built throughout the month, or do you know it each week and then you build it throughout, maybe next week you're building next week's schedule this week, or how does that work?
No, I would say it comes in like months in advance, but sometimes it comes like really quick too. It's not like I have it on a Google sheet on my upcoming things. Usually happens a couple months in advance. It's different situation when you're going out of state. Happens even more in advance because you got to get flights. They get the hotel, and then they got to pay you a deposit like before you announce the show. I don't know if that's how everybody works, but that's how I do. Like they got to pay you half before I get the flight at least, because I'm obviously not gonna like get a flight and then you tell me it's not happening. But when some things like my music week, bro, it could happen like in a day. Like I played a Gordo show last year during my music week that was just like completely free. Like we didn't give a fuck. Like it was a good opportunity, and it was at Pilo's. And like I think the day before, his manager was like, "Yo, you want to play this show?" And I'm like, "Yeah." and it ended up being like the biggest announcement I had that week.
That's awesome.
I would say like for like the open format guys, they have more of a set schedule already. Like they like no, they DJ more often than me. I play in Miami like once a month.
You play in Miami once a month?
At most.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you play most of your sets?
Most of my sets are here, but if I play too much, then it's like, oh, if I don't see him this week, I can just see him next week.
That was my
you have to keep the demand high.
That's actually great that you mentioned that. That was my next question. When it comes to DJing in Miami, is there a spot that you're gonna be at like once a week, or you're just open to anything and you're?
No, it's anywhere.
Are
the
there
spot
DJs like that though, or is there like a DJ that performs at one spot?
Yeah, a lot.
And
especially like.
Do you try to stay away from that and keep?
I'm not like
open?
in that lane.
Mm-hmm.
So like those are like DJs that aren't necessarily like making music. Yeah. They're just like playing everything.
It's DJ Laz, though.
Like DJ Laz. Like he plays everything. And then there's also like resident DJs, like DJs at Space, that they play there like pretty much every week.
I didn't know there was genres.
But they're like the openers.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the openers, so they play before the headliner, and they have like Live, Story. They've had the same residents for like over 10 years, and they're like known, legendary. Like they are the guys that are gonna be opening up when you show up. Mm-hmm. They're like professional. They know how to work up the energy of the crowd all the way up to when the DJ gets up there, and it's like putting the ball on the tee. And the same with Space. They've had the same, like they keep the same residents for a long time, and then sometimes there will be a headliner that has a residency. Like you will see DJ Khaled at Story like and Live like almost like every month.
I heard because of contract they're only allowed to play in certain spots.
Probably. I haven't gotten to that point where somebody offered me a contract. The only thing that has happened to me this year was there's a party called Recreo. That's happening it used to happen at Chico Malo and now it happens at Pilos. That I've played it 5 times now. The first time at Pilos was last time I did it, and coming into this year with a new venue, they said, "Yo, we want to bring you in more consistently. Show them what dates do you want," and I tell them the dates that I want. So like that one, I'm gonna come there like maybe once every 2 months.
Nice.
So that's like the one that I'm at the most consistently on a Thursday. But if it's like if I'm there every Thursday, then it's like he's there every Thursday. It's not special. So like I am losing out on money in a way, but like I'm thinking long term.
I like that better because you're losing in money for now, but you're building up your value as a DJ.
Yeah, like I part of me being booked is not just because like I could DJ and people want to see me. Like part of it is because I bring people also. It's like it's like I'm a promoter too. Mm-hmm. Like if nobody came to see me play, nobody would book me. So that's why like I got to keep that demand as high as I can.
How do you establish that as a DJ?
It's the music. It's once I started releasing music, everything changed. Like I kept releasing music, kept building a fan base. You could see a DJ play right at Belo's on a regular night, but is that gonna make you like want to come see him all the time? Like maybe not. There's people that I see it every time. I see it every show. Every time I play in Miami, they're there every single time in the front, and I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. Like they actually like coming, and they come because they like my music. But and I think another part is because they like the sets that I play. If they didn't like the sets that I play, then they would never come back. But building a fan base where people want to come see you, it's all in the music. If you just DJing, that's not gonna happen.
I didn't know there was 2 types of DJs like that, where it's they just almost like an aux cable type of vibe.
It's like, not. No, it's not. It's not that they're better or worse. A lot of them could be better, and a lot of them could be worse. So it's the same. They are just like they DJ more often. And a lot of them, like the good ones, they DJ like 4 times a week in the same city. Sometimes they travel and they DJ at different clubs that have different vibes. They might have people that come for them, but they're DJing at spots that people already go to.
Gotcha.
But they're a main part of the club because without them, that spot wouldn't really be good. So like, they might not be like the main attraction, but they're like, they are why the club is good. People might not know it.
They're quality
People
DJs.
might not know that, oh, I love this club. They play such good music. And they might not even know
it's the
that
DJ.
it's the DJ. So like in their market, I believe they get paid less than what I would get paid for one. So they play more to equal like what I would get in one show,
Yeah.
I would say. And they play for longer, definitely. I play for 1 hour and a half, 1 hour, 2 hours max, which that in an open format world was like, I think they most of the time they do like 3 to 4 hours, which is, I mean, you're working longer hours, way longer hours.
What's the longest set you've done?
4
4
5
hours? Wow, 5 hours?
No, it was when I was in South Dakota. It was just because I was playing from open to close, so it would be from 9 p.m. to 1:45 a.m. every Friday and Saturday. Bro, I don't know how I did it. But I want to do like extended sets, like once I get bigger, like how they do at Space, where they go for like 8 hours, like 10 hours. Like I want to try that.
They milk it though. Like Space is a vibe. I don't go there too often, but the times that I've gone, I've noticed that it's longer sets, but they really milk the drop. They milk the music.
I've never seen one of those sets in person, so I don't even know.
I'm sure you would love it just because you're a DJ and the experience.
Bro, honestly, I might get bored.
It's different. Well, a lot of people say that to go to Space, if you're gonna go to Space and just be sober and listen to the music, is a different experience. A lot of people try going to Space on something to really get lost in the music, because you do get bored.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, the first time I went to Space, I just happened to be there because we were going somewhere, but ended up going to Space because a friend knew a friend, whatever. And I go in there, no pregame, no nothing, and that's what happened to me. I got super bored because, like I said, they extend their drops because people are in there feeling the music and in a mood.
They're lost.
So like, yeah, so they are
and
lost.
a lot of them also love that kind of music.
Yeah.
So they're in a zone. Or, bro, I've been to Space one time when the sun came up, and I was going to see a DJ that I really liked, so it was fun. I barely drank because I drove there. I drank like 2-3 beers, but I was also with like a group of people that I knew, and like just from talking, listening to music, blah blah blah, bro. Before I knew it, the sun was up, because the sets also started at 4 a.m. So I was only here for like 3 a.m. It was 3 hours before the sun came up, but I could see how the time could just fly in there easily. Like same, I think 11. The DJs come on really late there, so by the time you leave there, it's like, by the time you get home, it's daytime, and it's like fuck.
Yeah, people get lost in there.
Yeah, you might come out, and I can't. I don't think this ever happened to me, but because Space is the top it's outdoor, so I can't imagine coming outside of a club and it's daytime.
Oh, that happened to me, bro. that's 11.
Right, that I've
wasn't
been
Space for me, but that's what happened at 11. It's you get so lost that time becomes nothing. So you remember going in at night and it's a fun night, whatever. But when you walk out and that sun smacks you in the face, you just question everything.
For me, like a 2-hour set is a good right there. Like 2 hours set, and I'm at the club for 3 hours is good. 2.5. Like I've been Space for like an hour before. Because like I just go see for a little bit and then I just go home. Like I don't really want to be there for so long unless I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Other than Ultra, do you have somewhere in Miami that you would love to perform at, like a venue?
Yeah, Live, Story. Those are my 2 number 1 goals.
Nice.
Almost happened.
Which one, Story or Live?
Story. And
Nice.
I was gonna play right after DJ Snake.
Hey.
Bro, I was so hyped. Bro, that was the best. Like we were going to Story and Live all the time, and I was just starting to produce music, and I'm like, dude, like, it's gotta be me. I gotta be up there one day. It's gotta be me. And so then finally, I get asked to play at Story. Like that happens because I build a connection with one of the main guys at Story and Live, Purple. Me and him became cool. I can't even remember how we first came in contact because Diplo. I made a remix to La Mama by El Alfa, and Diplo played it at Live, and I saw it on an Instagram video. Somebody sent it to me.
Is that how you found out?
That's how I found out. Yeah.
No way.
I didn't even know he was playing.
Diplo could be out there playing.
Oh yeah.
And you never know.
Yeah.
Wow.
You either had to find it on video or like on YouTube.
Crazy.
That's how you find out. So you got to pay attention to the Instagram stories, bro. Like every time he posts an Instagram story from a show, I'm like, fuck, skip. Fuck, skip.
Have you ever met Diplo?
No, I haven't met him in person yet.
Wow.
Maybe I will in my music week. Who knows? But so like I saw the video, right? And like this there's a strategic way to network too, right? Where it's like, I saw the video, I asked the guy, some guy I didn't even know on Instagram because someone sent it to me. I'm like, yo, can you send me this video? That's my remix. And he sent it to me. So then I posted on my Instagram story, oh, like, yo, it was a perfect video. Like, it was during a bottle parade. Like, it says live on the thing. So it shows Diplo and Purple is right next to him. And I tagged Diplo, I tagged Purple, obviously, so that he sees like, oh, this guy's playing my song. And he's like, oh, that's your song? Can you send it to me? And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And then he followed me. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
Diplo followed you?
No,
Purple. Okay.
So I'm like, yo, that's crazy. So then I think like a week later, or a couple weeks later, it's his birthday, and he's celebrating his birthday at Swan. He's like, yo, come Swan, like, I want you to DJ like on my birthday. Like DJ with me, and I'm like, yo, it's crazy. Like, I met him in person, and I'm like, yo, I've seen this guy so many times when I was at Live and Story, just like bringing in a flask, like getting fucked up in the bathroom, $9 to my name, never buying a drink.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, like, and he was so cool, and like, he's been so nice to me. Like, from that day, like, he's seen me. He played at Vibra Festival, and I played at Vibra. He came to see my set, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this guy's posting me on his Instagram story, like what is life right now? And it always surprises me. I don't know why, but like he doesn't have to be cool with me. He's set, like, he's him, and like he's so fucking nice to me. It's unbelievable. And then like DJ Snake was performing, and he texted me saying, yo, you wanna close for DJ Snake? And I'm like, bro, 100%, let's do it. And then it fucking got canceled, bro, because DJ Snake, he lives in another country, I think, and I think you have to test for COVID.
Oh, okay.
And he got tested positive.
How long ago was that?
This was right before New Year's. Bro, I was like,
I was right there.
dude. When my manager, so Kevin's one of my managers, and Paul is another thing. Paul, that is also my manager. He texted me, he's like, bad news, and I'm like, fuck, what could it be? And he's like, the night got canceled, he got COVID. And I'm like, yo. When I put that on Instagram story, everyone was like, no fucking way. Because like, that was the announcement of the announcements. I'm playing at Story. I finally did it.
Yeah.
And it's closing for DJ Snake, like one of my favorite DJs.
Time.
Like, unbelievable. Like, nobody could believe it. But then I was like, yo, it's not meant to be. Like, it'll happen. It'll happen when the time is right. And I know that if they wanted me this time, they'll want me again. And in February 10th, Dylan Francis was playing. They hit us up to play a Story again, and I already had a show that day.
No.
And I was under contract that I couldn't play anywhere else in the city.
It's gonna happen.
And I was like, yo, are you serious? Like, I had to say no. Like, fuck.
that is bad timing for sure,
bro. Bad timing. But it's like, if they
right
wanted
there.
me here, they know who I am.
That's what matters.
They're seeing what I'm doing. It'll happen.
Yeah, that's what matters.
It's
I think
around the corner, though.
The stars will align.
Yeah,
I think everything happens for a reason, and maybe you didn't close out for Snake and you got COVID because something
bro.
is bubbling, bro. Something.
Yeah,
maybe next week, maybe
hey,
next
maybe
month,
when it happens, it's Diplo.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Or Martin Garrix or Swedish House Mafia. Who knows? That'd be crazy. It'll happen when the time is right for some reason.
Yeah.
And maybe if someone
when that
random,
does happen, we're gonna be out there. We're gonna be out there supporting you 100%. Right. When you're at Story, Live, or wherever, bro, we're out there.
Bro, that so many people that, cause like I said, I'm here like maybe once a month. So many people that just, they don't really go. I know who goes. Hit me up, hit Kevin up for guest list, and I'm like, you motherfuckers, like, you never come. You want to come now for free?
That's big, man. That's amazing.
But that happens. It's already happening. A lot of people come around now.
It's funny how those big, like, amazing moments, they happen so just random, just
bro,
like out of
random.
nowhere. And it seems to be because of a bunch of things that happened in the past. So that's just like, be very aware and conscious of what you're doing right now, because the connections, you can go outside and go to Publix or somewhere and find somebody, and that connection can lead you to accomplishing your goals a couple months later. Like,
people want to work with who they like, 100%. If they don't like you, you have to be really talented or make them a lot of money to work with you. Like, but if they like you, they want to help you. Like, these people, they want to help me, which is insane.
Yeah, it's all about connections and relationships and just being genuine, just being a good guy.
I want to be friends with them, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it comes natural to me, like, to be nice to them. Like, I'm not a dickhead. Like,
that's what matters. It's gonna take you a long way, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a fun year.
Yeah, though.
It's gonna be a big year.
It's cool to see you from high school days to
Dude, I
you
think about
following
that
anything
sometimes.
at a high level, dog.
I think about that sometimes because that was never even a thought in high school.
Yeah,
like
no.
I was a completely like
The baseball
different
grind.
thing.
It's funny because I don't see that side of you. Like he sees
Baseball?
that side of you because of what he knows. From
I know,
you.
that's-
I don't,
which is
so
crazy.
I see you and I look at pure DJ. Like you are a DJ, and then he looks at you and it's like, yo, it's crazy. Like
I'm looking like a baseball player.
It's really
still
funny.
today.
Yesterday I had my like what I was to you, like 2 years older guy, like was already doing shit in baseball. Like
Yeah.
yesterday I had a guy that was an artist and he was like my big brother. He was teaching me all the things I need to know about baseball and crap. So to see that version of it and
Yeah.
now I'm doing it to you, like it's cool to see, like, damn, there really is different generations and people out here grinding and
Bro,
you're on your shit, dog.
it's insane. I think about that because, bro, at that time, like, I was not a music person at all. I remember being in middle school, I remember one day I saw a kid with, like, headphones in, and I'm like, I don't understand how this kid could just listen to music all day. I don't get it. How could you like music that much? And now that's me every day. Like,
Yeah.
just listening to music all the time.
it's something you feel, man. You don't even listen to it. It hits you, and that's one thing that I love about house music specifically, because house music it gets you in one of those vibes where it's just different. It's not because I'm a rap hip hop head. Like I like
So
rap,
was I.
R&B. I like reggae. That's my mood. That's what I've always grew up on, and that's what I'm used to. But when I discovered house, I remember my cousin told me about it. One day I was in middle school, and he was older than me, and he was in high school at the time, maybe a senior. And he's like, we were on LimeWire, bro. He's the one that put me onto LimeWire. So we were on LimeWire, and he's like, yo, look, you're not gonna know what this is, but just remember house music. He's like, you're too young right now, and nowhere you go at this age, no one's gonna be playing this stuff. But
Yeah.
remember me, bro. House music is gonna be
Now it's
the
like
vibe.
normal.
Yeah, no, and then when he told me that, and I just he played me this one thing, and I'm just like, wow, the
the
amount of
same
difference it is compared to what I'm used to is just like, no way. Like I thought he was like, bro, there's no way this is good music. And then as you get older, you just house music is something that you really feel. It touches you, it wakes you up.
I think it's like emotional music, and obviously it's not the only emotional music, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up Danny Breezy again. This guy was the first person to ever show me like a house song, believe it or not. Like,
Really, shout out to Breezy.
bro, it wasn't it was like everything back then used to be called house. Like everybody had people. I remember people in middle school on their book bag used to say like I love, and they would have like a house. But he showed me his ringtone was like this crazy drop, right? And I thought that was cool. And then he was like, I heard his ringtone go off. He had an iPhone. He was like the first person I ever saw with an iPhone. And I was like, yo, what is that? Like, that shit was cool. It wasn't. And then he's like, bro, you got to hear the whole song. Like, just give it a chance. Like, because he knew that at the time I listened to like hip hop. I was big into Lil Wayne, Eminem, Wiz Khalifa. Like,
Yeah.
that's all I listened to growing up. And he's like, just give it a chance. So it starts off with like a girl singing. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
what is this, bro? and he's like, bro, just listen to it. And then it goes in, and then the drop hits, and I'm like, bro, that was crazy. And the song was by Afrojack called "Take Over Control," which is a classic.
Okay. Yeah.
And bro, this was in 2010.
Yeah, I remember that.
2009, 2010. No, this was in 2010. I was like, yo, like I'll never forget that day. We're in front of Little Caesars, and he showed me on the phone, right in front of American,
Yeah.
on the phone, and I'm like, yo. And after that, Breezy also showed me Skrillex. He was showing me like I'll go to his house every day after school, and he was showing me on YouTube. He was showing me Skrillex Cinema remix, Scary Monsters and Sprite, Nice Sprite, something like that. And I'm like, yo, this music's crazy, bro. Like he showed me that, and like Danny Breezy doesn't even listen to that music anymore.
No.
Yo, it's crazy. Like the songs that he showed me. Like he also showed me Baila Conmigo. That's the name of the song. You know that song? It's like Spanish music, but EDM-ish at the same time. He showed me one time in
I
the
know what
car,
you're talking about.
and I'm like, yo, the song's cool as fuck, bro. A month later, it was like the biggest song in every club in Miami. I'm like, yo, this guy is like showing me
Yeah.
That's
like
funny.
hits, bro. Like
Yeah.
seriously, like without him even knowing it.
Yeah.
And he's the one that showed me like this music, and I still don't even like. He still hasn't even like seen me DJ yet, like, which is crazy. Like I don't even know if he knows he was like, the first person to show me that.
Well, now he knows.
Now he knows. It still didn't click. I liked those songs, but I
Yeah.
wasn't like an EDM head. I still like.
Yeah.
It's nothing clicked, but I was like, yo, this shit's cool. After that, I would listen to like Skrillex here and there in my headphones and Goldman, but like I didn't know what it was called at all. I didn't know it was called dubstep or anything like that.
Bro, now that I think about it, my cousin was right. I remember when I was a senior in high school in Gables, I was a starting pitcher, and before every single game that I started, I would play Hardwell's 2013 set.
Oof. Bro, I know it by heart. I know it by heart.
No, trust me too, bro. Every single game, I know it by heart too, bro. From beginning to end. And I would start playing it purposely, like I had it strategized, bro. I would play it like 10 minutes into our bus trip if it was an away game, and then by the time we pull up, as I'm stretching, the set is like 20 minutes left, and then as I finish stretching, I'm ready throwing the ball, and it's like I'm just ready to go.
Bro, it's funny that I thought you were gonna say the Project X song. I thought you were gonna say a song. I thought you were gonna say the Stevie Aoki. Yeah, the remix, because that song was huge when we were in high school, and like at the time I didn't know what that was in EDM. But that's funny that you were listening to that, because when I was pulling up to Gables in the bus, I was blasting Waka Flocka Gun Sound and Hard in the Paint, blasting. I was like, let's go, let's go. I'm blasting that in my headphones before I just go like take it off into like quietness, like playing baseball.
That's the American side.
That was American in me right there. Yeah. The American CCMS, Joella C. Good.
No doubt. I went to Joella too.
No way.
Yeah, though.
I went to Joella when I was in 3rd grade, 3rd through 5th.
Nice. Yeah.
Hated it.
You've been to my crib. I live right next to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's Joella right there.
That's the hood.
Bro, I used to go to the skate park right there. When I was really into skating, I thought I was gonna be a skateboarder for like 2 years of my life.
That was me in middle school.
I went through so many phases. Like I deadass thought I was gonna be like a pro skater.
You ever went to MIA skate park?
Yes.
I loved it.
Busted my ass so hard there.
3?
Bro, I couldn't do that.
Oh man, the 3-flat-3, bro. I remember one day.
That.
You never did it?
Nah.
Bro, I wasn't. It's hard. It's really hard.
But getting the sticker for your helmet was like the best thing ever. I don't know if you remember the stickers.
I never had a helmet.
Well, some parks they made you wear a helmet, so that's why I got one.
Bro, at MIA, the 3-flat-3, I remember one day I was just so motivated and dedicated to do it, bro. One thing about skating with me is I love stairs. Like I can do tricks flat, that's cool, but like I love stairs, bro. And that 3-flat-3, I remember I must have attempted it over 50 times, bro. And each time, almost every time, the closer I would get, I would land, but then the board would come up from under me.
Scary.
So my right hip, bro, I became numb. I finally landed it. Everybody was waiting for me, bro. The park was about to close. And it was trippy, bro. It was like I would do it, fall, get up, grab the board, run back. Do it, fall, grab the board, run back. Non-stop, bro, non-stop. Finally, I landed it. Like towards the end, and it was one of the best feelings ever. But the next day, bro, I was so fucked that I stopped skateboarding because my injury led me to take 2 weeks off of baseball, and that was in middle school where I was trying to get good to make the high school team, which of course at that time was the biggest goal. Like you got to make the high school team. So bro, that was the one of the highlights of my skateboarding career, but the ending.
We have like the same story. It's weird. There used to be a really small skate park in Miami Lakes. It's not there anymore. And there was a rail, and this was like, bro, I'm skating. I used to skate every day. I would finish my game and go straight to skating, and I was riding this rail and I couldn't get it. This was like a week before my tryouts freshman year of high school, so I was still skating in high school, my freshman year, and I'm board sliding. I keep bailing, because I feel like I'm not gonna make it. I'm board sliding this rail, and this time I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay on it. Whatever happens. I slip back, and no brace, my back just falls straight on the rail, like the middle of my back on the rail. Like my feet didn't touch the ground, nothing first. Yo, like it knocked the air out of me, and I was like, fuck. It's like when they knock the wind out of you in football. Like, yo, like I couldn't breathe for a couple seconds, and I got my breath, and like I had the skate park was closed, so I had to jump a fence to get out of it. Dude, it was so hard to climb the fence and get out. And the next day, like I couldn't like twist my back. Like it hurt so much to twist my back. And I had not even a week, like 2 days after that, I had my first high school tryout. And I'm like, fuck. So
could you even swing a bat?
Bro, straight adrenaline. So I got, after that day when I fell and I see how it was gonna affect baseball, I never picked up the skateboard again. I completely stopped like doing something I loved. And then like at the tryout, dude, like I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just have to go straight adrenaline. And like I don't even remember feeling it in the tryout. And you remember Al, right? Yeah, I was pitching, and Ricky was there. Ricky already knew who I was because Ricky played with my dad in Little League for a little bit. So they're trying me out, and like, yo, I was a weak little bitch. Like, yo, I took a bat that was like a -10, -5, like, but they didn't know because I couldn't even swing a -3 yet.
Yeah.
And I'm just ripping. I ripped 7 line drives straight, and I wasn't even a good hitter at that time. 7 line drives straight right over the L screen up the middle. And after the 7th one, Ricky and I were like, all right, he's good. Like,
Next.
everybody else got more pitches, and I was like, I'm looking and thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't believe I just did that.
Hell yeah.
I'm going nuts inside my head. I'm like, I'm going crazy. I'm like, let's go.
Yo, yeah, skateboarding's fun, but it's dangerous. It's really fucking dangerous. I don't know if you've tried it out recently, but I wouldn't suggest it.
I got into following it a little bit again because I started to like Nigel Houston, and I'm like, yo, it was so fun.
Yo, what the fuck? Same, bro.
Bro,
The
Nigel
reason
Houston
why
is
I picked
the
up my
GOAT.
board again was because of Nigel Houston.
So I thought about like how fun it would be, but it's like, bro, like, you're gonna get hurt.
Oh, bro, I thought about it and I
do it.
executed. So I grabbed my board.
Can't
This
do
was
it.
like 3 years ago. I grabbed my board. I was inspired. I was hyped. I was, ready, whatever. I go out there. I do a couple ollies, do a couple kick flips. I'm feeling it. I got it back. It's like riding a bike. So, bro, I get a little sweating and I'm feeling good. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take this to Wynwood. Like, I've never
you're wild,
skated at
bro.
Wynwood ever, because back
Yeah.
in my days, like middle school, Wynwood wasn't really a thing. So
At
now
all.
I'm thinking about it. I'm like, yo, a skateboard in Wynwood would be amazing. So I take it out there. The first thing I see, I pull up and I see a big gap. A gap and a ledge, so it's like you hit the gap and then it goes down, and it would have looked smooth, bro, and it would have felt smooth. So I got in that mode and I fucking fall, pick up the board, go, fall, pick up the board, go, fall, do it again and again and again and again, and then, bro, I fall on my elbow and I get a minor fracture on my elbow, bro. And I try to be tough. The last thing I want to do is go to the ER.
Same.
For anything.
Same.
So I tell myself, like, damn, that hurt, but like I'm gonna be good. Like, I'll be good. So I tell myself I'm gonna be good. And then I start to realize that I can't really, like, my left elbow isn't going straight. It's kind of cut off here. Like, it was the weirdest feeling. I don't know if you guys have broken a bone before. Bro, it's a weird feeling. Like, your mind is telling your arm to do this, but it's just not responding.
My brother's gotten that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Nah,
I ended up getting a cast from like up here to down here for like a month and a half, and never skateboarding again, bro. It's a great time, but it's dangerous.
I have a skate video somewhere out there on YouTube, and I've tried to find it and I can't find it anywhere. It was like literally I just created, like, it was so trash. Like I made it with like the Windows media movie thing and like my mom's camera. Like I would just take like clips from like my apartment complex and then like at the park, and like I made like a 3-minute video. So ass. And I've tried to find it and I can't find it anywhere. Like,
those were big back in the day. Those video clips.
skate
were everything,
videos,
bro.
bro.
That's what gets you hyped to want to go skate.
like,
You
oh,
see
like,
these guys
yo, if
doing
we get
these tricks, I'm
sponsored.
like, wow. Yo, it's a good time, bro.
Nah, yeah, my extent of skateboarding is PS1, Tony Hawk. that was
Rob
that was the
Dyrdek
only-
skate.
the skate video
That
was
was
the
a
best.
good one,
the
too.
the skate video game was the best.
Yeah. But Tony Hawk, that's the OG right there.
I like the game Skate more than all of those by far.
Yeah, same.
I think it was way more realistic than
Advanced,
Tony
bro,
Hawk.
that
Never got
analog.
into it.
Tony Hawk is like you grind and he goes faster.
Yeah, I said PS1 though. Like that's
Yeah,
way back.
Those challenges are crazy,
Nah,
bro.
first one I had was PS2. No,
The challenge
Nintendo.
on that is like Tony Hawk's is like, all right, your challenge is do a kickflip over this raging bull. Like,
Nah.
fuck. Or like grind its horns. Like, yo.
Skate was like realistic. It was like real life, like GTA, but skate.
Exactly, yeah.
So I
yeah,
like
bro.
that, and I like that you can like create your own person.
Nah, bro, skating's fun, but I think we're at that point where it's too dangerous, bro. It's way too
Bro,
fucking dangerous.
I'd be so mad at myself if I hurt myself.
That's the thing, bro. I'll be so mad at myself if I try to skate and don't land the trick.
No,
And
I'll be
keep trying.
I'll be mad if I get hurt. Like I'm so scared
Oh,
to break a bone.
Same.
So scared. And like anytime I've hurt myself, like I'm so pissed. I'm like, dude, I could have easily not done this.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's not some most of the time it's not even like fucking around. The last time I got like not hurt but like something happened where I had to go to urgent care, bro. The guy I work for. I'm at his house putting up artificial grass on the wall with a stapler, the outdoor stapler where you staple shit. And I thought it was like done. I thought the staples were done. So I'm like, oh, let me try to shoot one in the air, like see if something comes out. And I didn't know I had it backwards, bro. So I had it like, and I was holding the bottom like this. So I go like that. And my first thought is like, oh shit, it's done. And then I kind of felt something in my hand, and I'm like, oh my god. I look at my hand, bro. My fucking hand is stapled, dude. And I'm like, bro, no way. I start freaking out. And I'm like, fuck, how big is it? Because I don't know how big the staples were. They were maybe like from here to here, like the size of my thumb. And I'm like, fuck, bro, how are they gonna get this out? Like, I couldn't extend my hand, like it was like this, stuck like that. Because if I go like that, like it was hurting.
Oh, hell
bro,
no.
I was freaking out. Like, thankfully I wasn't, I don't know how, but I didn't pass out. And then he called my boy, and he's like, yo, like, take him to urgent care. I got to urgent care, and there's a fucking line, bro. And I'm like, no chance.
You're sitting there like...
I went to the front of the line. I told the lady, like, yo, please, can you let me skip? Like, she looked, dude, she was like, I'm like, fuck, I'm freaking out, dude. I showed the girl in the front, and like, I'm at least thinking like she's seen bad shit maybe. I show her, and she's like, oh, okay.
Get that guy back there.
So like, it took like 10 minutes for me to get back there, and then like, I'm just like, fuck, dude, like I'm such an idiot. Like, how could this happen to me? And like the lady's like, all right, we're gonna pull it out. No anesthesia, no nothing, no cream, no nothing. And I'm like, oh my god. And she's like, don't look, and it's gonna hurt. And I'm like, yo, fuck, bro. Yo, she dead ass grabbed like pliers.
No.
And she's like, all right. And she just pulled it out like that. And I don't even remember it hurting that much when she pulled it out.
Okay.
I was just so fucking relieved.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I can't believe it's out. Like,
that'd get me mad.
Yo,
I'd be like,
I was thinking, because you know how staples, they go in, but they go like this. So I'm there like thinking like, fuck, bro, did it just like pierce my skin, but not only go in, did it like grab it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, how are they gonna take this out? Like, how did it go in my bone? Did it hit my veins? I'm freaking out, bro.
Yeah.
And then they took it out, bro. It, like, while it was in, it wasn't even bleeding because like it was covered by the staple. And when it took it out, like nothing crazy happened. Like it was just
no stitches, no
tiny
nothing.
holes, no stitches, no
It's like
nothing.
the biggest splinter ever.
Bro, it was just, I was just so relieved, but I was like, fuck, dude, who does this?
Moral of the story, don't staple yourself.
Yo, I've never touched one of those staplers again in my life. I was at Flanagan's the other day, and they were putting up decorations for St. Patty's, and I was just looking at that stapler like...
Traumatized.
Yo, I'm looking at it like it's my enemy. Like, I have like a phobia now. Like,
yeah, I would too, dog.
Like,
no
like,
construction for you.
I don't want to, dude. That's why I stopped doing construction. Because before that, the only time I got stitches was because I was throwing out something doing construction, a piece of wood, and they always tell you like to look at the wood because there's nails. There could be nails. I throw it out, and I feel something scrape my hand, dog, and I'm like, oh, like, dude, like the hardest scrape I've ever felt. Yeah. And I look, and I'm freaking out, bro. Like a deep cut right here, and I've never gotten stitches. And the first thing I said to the guy I was working with, I was like, "Fuck, I have to go to the hospital." Like, it was deep, and I could tell like I need stitches. And I'm in the car on the way, fucking going through it. Like, I started to see white. Oh, no. And I was like about to pass out. I never passed out in my life. I was getting scared as fuck. I put the radio on, like I got lucky that like a song I like was on. Yeah. And I started to focus on that, and I started to get better. But I was still freaking the fuck out, bro. And getting stitches was horrible, bro.
The music saved you, bro.
Yo, the music saved you. It's so corny, but I put on the EDM station, and they had a song that I liked.
Yeah. Is it 93.5?
93.5.
There you go.
The song was Thief by OK. And I'm like, yo, like I started focusing on it, and I started to see better. So like, yo, I'm scared of passing out. I've never passed out before. I've been knocked out.
Like, I've never passed out either. Thank God. I would never want to. That's scary.
Nah, bro. I'm scared of all that shit.
Yo, I think we're coming up on time, but what do you what I like to ask everyone, like just before wrapping it up, is what does Miami mean to you?
Miami is me. Miami is everything. Like, no matter where I go, it doesn't come, I don't do it on purpose. It just comes so natural to me. I just want to rep this city. I'm so proud to be from here. I love everything about it. Like the culture, like I didn't realize how different this place was until I moved away for college.
It's crazy, right?
It's just like, it's exactly what people say, that it's just a fucking melting pot. It's like, we're so blessed to grow up around every kind of person from every different kind of country, every race. We went to school with them. All of that is normal to us. We didn't grow up around only one thing. So like, I think that just like shaped who we are. Like, we're proud, we're confident. Like, I feel like it's everything that I am. And like, I'll rep it to the day I die. Like, I want everybody to not only know about Miami, I want everybody to know and find out what Hialeah is, Miami Lakes, everything. I want to put that on the map, and more than what Miami means to me, like when I do get to that level where I could be like a name that everyone knows, like I want someone like us that played baseball at Gables or Goldman that might have interest in music, like I want them to know like I was literally you and now I'm here. So like I played baseball throughout college and I still did it. Like I can't think of another DJ that has done it, that was a baseball player from Hialeah, like, so like I want to be that guy for someone.
Definitely, I
Period.
think you will be, bro. It's only a matter of time. With your work ethic and the way that you just follow your passion the way that you do, it's only a matter of time. It's gonna happen. We're excited to see that growth, and you're gonna come back on another episode talking about how you performed at Story, how you performed at Live, how you're gonna be performing at Ultra, and all these big things that are gonna be happening. We're gonna be following you, and we're gonna support you everywhere you go.
Appreciate it, bro.
Only up from here, my dog.
Sky's the limit.
You're killing it, dog.
I appreciate it.
You want to tell the people where they can find you?
Just MikeyBarreneche.com and you'll find everything you need to find.
There it is.
It's all there in one place.
Pleasure having you, my guy.
Until next time.
Oh yeah.
Let's keep making moves, big hustle, all day, every day.